Hey, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on, Conscious Crew? It is your favorite mother-loving commentator, the Conscious TV. Okay, welcome to another riveting episode, honey. Woo-cha! It is too much going on. It's too goddamn merch going on in the world, honey. Before we even get into this crazy mint, go ahead and give me an old nasty piece of thumbs up, honey. This is gonna be an open discussion, honey. I'm definitely gonna be dropping the link for anybody who want to come on, baby, because I don't think my brain can work alone, honey. I'm gonna need some collaborative effort here on this particular debauchery that's taking place over in New York City, honey. The whores getting a little bit too new, if you're asking me about New York, okay? Definitely hit that notification bell if you have not, so that you can be notified every time I go live, okay? Also, there's about to be some tee-hee-hee dropped into the Patreon, so if you're already over there, be looking for some stuff to come into that Patreon tonight. And if you're not in there, get your motherfucking asses in there, okay? I want to shout out to all of my contributors and donators, Leslie, and everybody else. I can't remember off the top of my head right now, but thank you for your donations, okay? So hang tight, kick off your feet, and relax your breasts, honey. We're going to get into some teens, nigga. Tie up your do-rags real nicely. Okay, we got a little discussion that we need to have here, okay? Is that it for the church announcements? I believe that is. Okay, that's it for the church announcements. Let's get started, honey. Let's get into some things.
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Conscious TV.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Conscious TV.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
All right, you guys, let me make sure I greet everybody in the stream before we get started. What's going on? Just Be Real. Hi, Classy. Hey, Vanessa. What's going on? Hayes Way. What's going on? Kesh. What's going on? Sabrina, Leslie, Miss Word. What's going on, y'all? Cha. So last night, I was just minding my business, you know what I'm saying? Just being nosy and stuff. And girl, I was scrolling through my news feed on Instagram, okay, Insta-scam, and I saw a post by our secular man of God, Mr. Larry D. Rieger, and he had posted this damn video, okay? Y'all, I'm a play it. We gonna look at it today. We gonna talk about it, girl. When I tell you I slid off the edge of my damn bed and I screamed and I hollered and I damn screamed at this masturbation education video that some school in New York City decided to create for their first graders, okay, about how it's safe to touch and probe and be curious about their bodies. And girl, my brain just shrunk because the whole damn video was like something out of a damn parody. And the fact that this video actually got seen by children in a room also full of adults, baby, my brain was just hollering, okay? So before I show y'all the damn video, girl, and we just talk about this ish, girl, let's pull up. I want to pull up an article just to give you guys some context and some backstory. Then we're gonna pull up the video, girl, and we're gonna watch this thing together here. Now let me share my screen, honey. This is a article written up by Christian Post. Okay, you know they on it, honey. Satan in the world, and anything he doing, Christian Post is reporting all the devil's work, bitch. Okay, shout out to Christian Post. Okay, let me remove my banner because she way too big. They know we live, ho. Okay, so y'all can see the screen here. Now let me read this, okay? Caption of this article from ChristianPost.com reads, Parents furious at NYC private school over graphic sex education video shown to first graders, okay? Parents of children at an elite private school in New York City are speaking out against videos on masturbation and gender identity being shown to their first graders. According to the New York Post, parents of first grade students at Dalton School, which costs $55,000 white dollars a year, were outraged when they learned that health and wellness educator Justine Ange Fonte, who had previously led an explicit porn literacy workshop at another prestigious prep school in the city, has shown 6-year-olds a cartoon video in which touching themselves for pleasure was explained. Quote, hey, how come sometimes my penis gets big, sometimes and points in the air? A boy in a cartoon inquires, which then prompts an explanation about erections. The boy nods his head and says that he touches his penis because it feels good. A young girl in the cartoon video subsequently adds, sometimes when I'm in my bath or when mom puts me to bed, I like to touch my vulva too. The children were also reportedly taught lessons about giving consent, which included giving permission before their relative can hug them. The health education lessons also includes topics on gender identity, a nebulous phrase used by transgender activists to describe an eternal feeling about their gender apart from their biological sex. Mothers who spoke with the New York Post about their disgust did so anonymously for fear of social repercussions. And I quote, kids have no less than 5 classes on gender identity. This is pure indoctrination, one Dalton mother told the NYC Post. Quote, this person should absolutely not be teaching children. Ironically, she teaches kids about consent, yet she has never gotten consent from parents about the sexually explicit and age inappropriate material about transgenders to first graders. Another mother said that she was furious and that she and others were horrified to learn this was shown to our first grade 6 and 7-year-old kids without our knowledge or consent. But it's so hard to fight back because you will get canceled and your children will suffer. When the parents complained, the school's officials made it seem as though they misunderstood, but they were undeterred. And I quote, we are not confused. We are, in fact, just seeing very clearly for the first time what a progressive education really means at Dalton, another mother said. The fact that the school then gaslit parents into thinking we are confused is abysmal. A school's spokesperson defended the lesson, saying that the videos are age appropriate and aligned with nationally recognized methodologies and standards. We consistently review our health curriculum, making sure that the consent is developmentally appropriate, and if necessary, we adapt our curriculum accordingly. We will continue to listen carefully to parent feedback, respond thoughtfully to community concerns, and develop lessons that are in the best interest of our students, respect our community values, and correspond with best practices, the school said. The fury at the elite private school comes amid greater scrutiny and parental pushback against the sex ed curricula being taught in schools throughout the country. In May of last year, the Family Research Council released a comprehensive report highlighting how Planned Parenthood and the Sexuality Information and Education Council of the U.S. are sexualizing children with extreme content. The report showed that among the lessons being taught are how-to sex workshops where youth are instructed on how to consent to sex and what's known as fake abstinence, abstaining from sex until the next steady boyfriend or girlfriend. Wow! The FRC report also explained how contemporary sex ed curricula teach girls how to obtain abortions and hide it from their parents. It also encourages students to declare themselves LGBT allies and promote the transgender identity claim that they might have been born in the wrong body. Bitch, I am about to throw my fucking laptop out of the goddamn window. Are you fucking y'all, hold on, wait a minute. I should have went over this before I got bitch. I just read this with y'all, bitch. So I'm having real life, real time. This is a damn reaction video, bitch. What? Hold on, I gotta read that again. The report showed that among the lessons being taught are how-to sex workshops where youth are instructed on how to consent to sex and what's known as fake abstinence, abstaining from sex until the next steady boyfriend or girlfriend. The FRC report also explained how contemporary sex ed curricula teach girls how to obtain abortions and hide it from their parents. It also encouraged... Girl, hold on, listen to me. Girl, I am fucking flatlining right now. Bitch, I have flatlined, bitch. Anybody want to do mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, bitch? Where's the electric chair, girl? Drag my whole body, bitch. What in the entire... Where do I live at? Like, girl, all the action-oriented shit. Girl, where does this stuff be happening at? Baby, I need to be in NYC, bitch, so I can be burning and looting and goddamn pillaging and shit, bitch, because this is where all the fuckery be at. Girl, that's from Christian Post. Now, I don't even know if all that information is connected to this particular incident at NYC. Oh, okay, no, because this is referring to this is concerning May of last year from the Family Research Council released a comprehensive report. Okay, girl, that's a whole nother subject. Maybe we'll touch on that too. Putting that aside, girl, I done flatline, y'all. I am flatlined, like flatlined. Like I can't. I tried and I can't. I wanted to and I can't. I thought about it and I can't. Are these people okay? Well, the video is funny, girl, but this goddamn article, girl, just told us that we living in our last damn days. The video itself is completely, absolutely over the top comedy because it's just the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. But this article was like, shit got real fast in this article, girl. Like real serious, real fast, real serious. Now, let's look at the video. Now, Larry, I'm going to be pulling up your Instagram page. Now, don't you come over here flagging a damn nigga, okay? Don't you copyright strike my shit, okay? This is for educational purposes, okay? Because I saw the video on the Secular Man of God's page, girl. Girl, I don't even know if I'm ready. Can I blow this shit up? Okay, y'all. Father God in heaven. Baby, so this is the video that this NYC school showed to the first grade private students of Dalton Private School, okay? Let's listen here, child. Okay, wait. I don't think you guys can hear. Can you guys hear that? I don't think you guys can hear that. Oh, wait a minute.
They don't?
I gotta start this over. I didn't have the sound playing. Hold on. Okay, let me see here.
Hey, how come my penis gets big sometimes and points up in the air? That's called an erection. Sometimes I touch my penis because it feels good. Sometimes when I'm in my bath or when Mom puts me to bed, I like to touch my vulva too. You have a clitoris there, Kayla, that probably feels good to touch the same way Keith's penis feels good when he touches it. But have you ever noticed that older kids and grown-ups don't touch their private parts in public? They don't? That's right, Keith. It's okay to touch yourself and see how different body parts feel, but it's best to only do it in private. Hey, how come my penis gets big sometimes and points up in the air? That's called an erection. Sometimes I touch my penis because it feels good. Sometimes when I'm in my bath or when Mom puts me to bed, I like to touch my vulva too. You have a clitoris there, Kayla, that probably feels good to touch the same way Keith's penis feels good when he touches it. But have you ever noticed that older kids and grown-ups don't touch their private parts in public? They don't? That's right, Keith. It's okay to touch yourself and see how different body parts feel, but it's best to only do it in private.
Girl,
Hey,
did y'all hear all that? Did y'all catch all that? Did y'all catch all that smoke? Did y'all catch all that? What's going on, Nick Boss? What's going on, boo? This Toodles, this is a masturbation education video that a private school in New York City created for their first graders about their autonomy and why it's okay, I guess, for them to have a curiosity about their bodies, etc. And so this was a very poor attempt to I guess remove the stigma around look, what's going on, baby doll? Look at here, girl. I'm sweating like a hooker in a goddamn church right now. I don't even know. Wait, I'm trying to get my thoughts together. Hold on. Let me pull my brain together, because I should have... Okay. Wait. Okay. Okay. This is what I'm going to say. Just dealing with this video, right? Just dealing with the masturbation education video. I'm going to reasonably assume that the intention behind this video was well intended. What I will say is I damn sure agreed with the furious parents who felt like, how dare you add this to the curriculum without consenting with the guardians and those who are in charge of the well-being of these children about this being a addition made to the curriculum. Okay. Now, had I been one of these rich white hoes with Sarah and Billy in Dalton High School, and it would have came to me talking about they watched a cartoon boy talk about his penis erecting into the air, Becky would have started off with the good hair, but that bitch would have been bald if she would have been the sex education teacher, baby, because somebody ass would have had to get whooped. Okay? $55,000 a year to attend this school, and it would have been a $55,000 ass whooping. Okay? Now, I don't know whether these hoes thought because it's private school that this was private curriculum, but a better way of going about this would have been not even necessarily attempting to educate the children directly themselves, like the school making it its business, but to maybe send out a letter to the parents of these children saying, hey, this is what our desire is, which is to start, which is to talk to young people. First of all, hold on, before I even get there, I think it's inappropriate for elementary children to have to be understanding the complexities of their bodies, because to be honest, I mean, most kids, because I was a child, I was a kid, y'all were a kid, we were kids. I didn't begin curiosity around my body really until I had hit puberty. I was well into middle school. Now, I can maybe see a curriculum like this starting from middle school to high school. However, what I will say to that is, I don't believe that these are matters that the schools should be in charge of. I think that sex education should start in middle school. And I would say it's up to the parents to start sex education in their homes if they want to start that talk with their children at an earlier age. Because being completely honest, kids get into some freaky shit. When I was in middle school, yes, we was doing fast in the ass shit. We was hunching on the side of the buildings. We were playing house, all type of shit. There is a conversation that needs to be had because kids get curious about adult things when they're children. But once again, I don't believe in the institutional teaching of this. I think that these matters should be personal and should be private and should be completely governed by the parents themselves with their children as it relates to sex education. Now, in my household, there was barely a conversation around sex education. I didn't really get a sex education conversation until 9th grade of high school. No, 7th grade middle school, where we took a sex education class that taught us about our private regions, that taught us about what intercourse was, that taught us about the use of condoms, that taught us about STIs and STDs, and pregnancy prevention, and blah, 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 blah. And so, you know, and that was a appropriate age, I felt. 6th, 7th, 8th grade, because that's when puberty is hitting. Hormones are hot. You know, the girls fast in the ass. The boys are fast in the ass. It's time for a conversation. But one of the issues that I think maybe schools like this NYC school are trying to combat is the fact that a lot of parents are taking centuries to have the conversation with their kids. And while I do understand how problematic that can be for the children themselves, for young people to be left without real, genuine, informative dialogue and information around personal autonomy, about consent, about sexual consent, about masturbation as an alternative, about blah, 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 blah. I still feel like this has to be left to the parents. And so a better approach, if I would have been in charge of the curriculum of Dalton's private elementary school, or whatever the fuck it is I think they should have sent letters out to the parents and said, look, we're wanting to help you guys have a conversation that can be lighthearted, but yet informative with your children around, you know, personal autonomy and sex education. And when I read kind of like the nuances of some of this shit, it was talking about, you know, the curriculum also includes teaching children about what consent is. Now, I think that that is a very important conversation, like teaching kids that they have a right to decide who touches them, who hugs them, and teaching and instilling in children that someone should ask your permission to touch you, to put their arms around your neck, to etc. Because there is a lot of pedo shit that goes on in these school systems. There's a lot of pedo shit that goes on in these church houses. There's a lot of pedo shit that goes on just period. And a lot of kids are being touched and are being sexually assaulted and don't even know it because they don't have a framework for what's appropriate and not appropriate. But once again, if I am a parent, I can understand the issue with leaving the school system to educate my children. I would want my children learning about consent and learning about their bodies and coming to me as their source, because I'm the one in the power seat of the curriculum when I'm the one in the teacher's position. I'm powerless if the school is, without my consent, instilling these things into my children at an age that I may personally think is inappropriate, that may go against my spiritual or my religious beliefs, or whatever my fucking reasons would be for thinking that this is completely inappropriate and the school system is out of fucking line. The school system should have sent out letters to the parents and said, we've created a series of videos coupled with the entire curriculum around masturbation, about personal autonomy, and we would like to bring you guys in, give you guys this curriculum, maybe even hold some workshops for you guys so that you guys can go home and start talking to your children, especially since we're living in a culture where children sex is more readily available in terms of exposure to children. If your child has a smartphone, if your child has access to cable television, if your child has access to the internet, literally, it is almost impossible to keep these children from being exposed to explicit images or from going to school with kids who know how to pull up pornography websites, who know how to pull up sexual images of women, nude images of men, etc. And so, because we're living in a technological age, I can understand why now, once upon a time, only your 6th and 7th graders needed to know about sex education. But now, considering how fast the fucking world is and how easy explicit and X-rated material is because of technology, because of fucking Google, kids are being exposed to shit. I was listening to, Lil Boosie came under a lot of fire like last year, a year before last, because he has like an 11, 13-year-old son who he allows to watch porn, who he allows to receive oral sex from grown-ass women. He allows his young nephews to watch porn. And I'm just like, my God. The troubles, honey, the troubles of raising a child in this era where you almost have no control over what your child sees or hears or witnesses once they leave your home. You almost have no control over it. And so, are parents going to have conversations sooner than later? Absolutely, because the world is changing and time is speeding up. But, if I was to school, I would not have gone over the parents' heads and started directly teaching or indoctrinating the goddamn kids. I would have, allowed the parents to just be aware that there are things put in place for them if these are conversations they are wanting to have with their children, and that the school is standing behind their support and understand how important these conversations can be around consent, etc. And I think the parents would have been more obliging, and the parents would have felt more respected. And I think that just would have been more fucking appropriate. Now, I'm going to drop the link and let you guys get up in here, honey, Because girl, it is team too much going on in the world, baby. See, this is why I don't plan on having no damn kids, baby. I done got my tubes tied. I done had a hysterectomy. I done got my balls clipped, bitch. I done had a vasectomy, bitch. Girl, done did it all, baby. I ain't pushing out nothing but air out of this good puss. It's crazy, baby. The world is, it's a lot going on, honey. If you look, I just dropped the link. You want to come up here, give your opinion, girl, chime in. If you a mama, a daddy, thinking about being a kid, what you think? What you think about children needing to be taught about masturbation, etc.? You know what I feel the most sad about? What I feel the most sad about is what I feel the most sad about. Because I'm thinking about my time as a child. I just think, you know, parents got to do better. These conversations should be starting at fucking home. And girl, we got guests, honey. Hold on. I see you backstage, boo. Give me 1 second. Hi, Vanessa.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
Vinecia.
What's going on, boo?
I'm Tootie's Bundle.
Oh, what's going on, Toots? Girl, you be... I don't be recognizing these StreamYard names.
No, the thing is, my regular profile is Vinecia Desveen.
Okay.
I follow you and I like everything on my regular one, but then I have to go and transform to Tootie's Bundles to talk to you so you know who I am. But I just decided I'm gonna be on and let you know who I am, so you know when you see my comments or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got it. Okay. Girl, well, girl, what you thinking?
My thing is about the whole situation is like, all right, you know, I feel like the kids need to know, and you know, they already said our kids are smart from age once they born all the way to like maybe 5 or 6, right? And I agree to like let them understand. No, the thing is, I feel like with first graders, you can't just show them no cartoon or no video, explain that without consent. Because what I see in middle school, high school, we had like consent from our parents to sign and say for us to get sexual education. I have no problems, but I just like I don't know about elementary school. Like I'm kind of confused about that. Like I don't think we need to do that too early. Allow the parents to, if they want to do it and teach their kids that, but don't force it, you know, so early. But then I digress and be like, you know what? They old enough and they smart to understand what or whoever can tell them. But I feel like it's like a intimate thing with elementary schoolers and children that they need to learn from their parents if they parents.
Yes, because I don't want no weird asshole.
My thing, you know, get bored and point up. I was like, oh my God.
Baby, you know what? Hold on. Can you still hear me, Vanessa?
Yeah, I hear you.
Hold on for a minute. Let me put my headphones.
Okay.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I had to put my headphones in so I can hear you because my laptop playing the volume real low. Yes, it should be in the hands of the goddamn parents. I don't want no weird asshole I don't know teaching my damn child about their damn private regions. Like, bitch, I don't even know you. I don't know your social security number.
Yeah,
I don't know your blood type, girl.
Explain to them. You might explain it to them the wrong way. So, like, they so delicate in elementary. You need to let the parents allow that. Like, if their parents don't do what they do and don't acknowledge it at elementary, middle school, high school, if you do the consent and you and the teacher or whatever teach them whatever, but you need a lot of parents to start there. I'm like, that's over the top right now. And then you created a cartoon, and you know that's going to cater to a child in elementary school.
Well, it was made for children.
Huh?
It was made for children.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So, like,
so when you was a little girl, when did you become curious about your body? Like, when were you trying to figure out what this do and what that is and what's in here? And
I was kind of curious at 9.
At 9 years old. Okay. So what grade you would have been in at 9?
I would have been like 3rd or 4th.
3rd or 4th. Okay. So what did you do with that? Like, were you able to talk to somebody? Did you feel comfortable talking to your parents? Did you just kind of explore on your own?
So, like, let me give you a little small backstory.
Okay.
When I was 4, my parents, my mother and my father, they split up and separated.
Mm-hmm.
When I got in 1st grade, which was 6, stepfather, and he's still my stepfather to this day. He made it okay to talk to him, but my mom made it so not okay. Like, she was that parent that was so strict. I had to be in the house for the street lights come in. She don't want me to stay over the cousin's house. She don't want me to do none of that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't feel okay to talk to her, ask her those questions. So I would ask older cousins or another older parent or older, relative to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
Made it not be comfortable to talk to her about it. But then as time went on, when I got 13 or whatever, and my stepfather came and he talked to me because he saw I was like into boys and stuff like that. And he was like, I just want to see you okay, you know. You know how the parents be like, oh, yeah, you kind of feeling yourself or hiding the ass and stuff or whatever. And, you could be smelling yourself a little bit or whatever. And he was like, well, I don't want to be a grandfather early. So if you think you do want to have sex or get into that, round or whatever, let me know. We can put you on birth control and stuff like that. So I heard him and I understood that. And when I thought I was ready to have sex, I did let them know because he made me feel comfortable to tell him that and to talk to him about that. But when you think about it, a lot of parents don't make it okay for kids to do that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up is I wonder, like, what is it going to take for parents to, because I think we connect we sexualize the body so much that we think that any conversation around the way the body works or around
parents in that age
is sexual
or whatever, they don't want to admit or understand or think about where they was at that age and don't want to allow that. It's okay that you done got into your sexuality and you kind of like want to do the sex or whatever. Make the kids feel okay and comfortable to talk to someone. If they can't talk to you, they need to feel comfortable to talk to someone,
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that you want to be overprotective and, make them feel scared to talk to you, it's a problem. Like, I remember I was like 5 and I mean, it might be a little too much. I ain't trying to be funny. I saw my mom on her period and I lost it. I was scared. I wanted to be a boy.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, she's bleeding. I was,
Baby, I don't know how the hell y'all do it. Because the first time that I learned what girls go through, I was like, I got on my knees and thank God that I was a male.
Listen, I want to be a boy. My mama laughed. She tell that joke or tell that story. I'd be like, Mom, you gotta tell everybody or whatever. But at the same time, that's the truth. That's what it is. I was scared. I didn't even want to be a girl no more because I was scared of that part. But she didn't explain it to me thoroughly. Like, this is what happens with a woman. It can happen at any age. I mean, I know some 6-year-olds that got their periods. Be honest with you.
Yeah.
My mom and my dad both. When I was a day or two, I bled a little bit, and a lot of people don't understand that or know that can happen, and they will freak out. New parents, old parents, hire to go, So that happened to me as a child, you know, when I was that age. But I got mine when I was 11. I was skeptical, scared, or whatever, and cool, whatever. But the bottom line is, I feel like as parents, we need to be more, you know, open, more
Hold on
open.
for 1 minute, Tooties. Yes, Jody, it's a real headline. You need to click the link. You need to click the link, nigga. This is for real. This happened out in NYC, and apparently last year there was a whole curriculum provided by the Family Research Council, which released a comprehensive reporting highlighting how Planned Parenthood and the Sexuality Information and Education Council of the United States of America are sexualizing children with extreme content. And the report, and this is separate from the video, this is like a whole nother situation from like 2019. The report showed that among the lessons being taught, Toots,
Yes, I'm here.
it's some type of vibration going on in your
Oh,
phone.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Ain't no problem.
Somebody call me.
Okay. The report showed that among the lessons being taught are how to sex workshops where youth are instructed on how to consent to sex and what's known as fake abstinence, which is abstaining from sex until the next steady boyfriend or girlfriend. The FRC report also explained how contemporary sex ed curricula teach girls how to obtain abortions and hide it from their parents. It also encourages students to declare themselves LGBT allies and promote the transgender identity claim that they might have been born in the wrong body. This is for real.
Basically trying to push that it's an agenda, which is not an agenda. It's just real life.
So, look, there are a billion layers that I have to peel through.
One day or one night, but
that's what I want to say. Because Hayes Way, I highlighted her comment. She said that when she was a teacher's aide, that she walked into, I think, a locker room or walked in somewhere, and fifth grade girls had their t-shirts up and were allowing the boys to take pictures of their exposed breasts. And this goes back to what I was saying earlier in this conversation, that obviously, like, sex education does need to start early, because we in a way we hold this idea that our children are innocent and all they're thinking about is Barbie dolls and easy bake ovens and GI Joes. But the truth is, these kids are also being really curious about adult things like sex. And that's when I went back to saying how when I was younger, you know, we was playing high go get it. We was hunching on the side of the building. We were playing house and rolling on top of each other and trying to get each other pregnant without clothes on. You know, we were imitating things that we saw on TV, things that we heard in grown-up conversations. And so, you know, there is a reality to children that doesn't need to be avoided just because we as adults are completely uncomfortable with the conversations around sex, which probably comes from a lot of religious conditioning that has taught us to have a lot of anxiety around sex because it's so demonized, it's so taboo, and it's even taboo as adults. It's damn sure taboo in terms of opening up that whole dialogue with young people. But interest in sexualness is something that is happening even in elementary children. I was an elementary child too, and we were doing the goddamn most as young people. So, but we always doing the most. Like, that's just the reality. Like, our children doing the most. We were children. We were doing the goddamn most. But I still stand behind the fact that I don't believe that it's the school that the school should have the authority to project or to sanction this education. Like, they should have.
But the schools shouldn't be available to do that, because we got enough of the schools brainwashing us with a lot of different stuff, as far as our history and science and stuff. And then we learning nowadays, being, you know, waking up or understanding everything, that a lot of stuff that they teach us with science or social studies, it's not all the way facts. We just was told that, and then our parents or our parents taught that to them, and then it taught it to our parents, and our parents teaching to us, and now we find out that what they telling us, they loved us, but they taught us that they just heard. They can't give us a receipt. They can't give us a fact. We can't find it in a book or nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like we just going off of hearsay, not off of facts. And with the school system, they teach us what they teach us, but we learning and we doing our research and we knowing better that half of that shit is lies. Really, I feel like most of it, but I gotta be politically correct. Half of that shit is lies.
Mm-hmm.
So I just be like, I'm questioning everything. And for sure with the school thing, I don't agree and stand by that they can teach our elementary kids things about sex. But the thing is, we
Well,
allow that to happen.
well, even before that, like it goes back to the question, well, to the point that I was going to make earlier too, around that, like this is what's difficult about these conversations is because anytime you insert children, everybody gets triggered up, and it makes it difficult to have a really clear-headed,
it's really hard
to have a really clear-headed, like sound-minded, informative dialogue rather than one that's gaslit around all of the natural like protectiveness that rises up in us when it comes to children, which is why so with that being said, I think that first of all, we got to separate the body from sex. Curiosity about my body is not necessarily complicit or not complicit. It's not necessarily like synonymous with sexuality. I'm in a body. The body is a vehicle for the spirit. This body self-operates whether I'm conscious or not. Like right now, everybody's heart is beating without a conscious effort on your behalf. Like the blood is moving through your veins right now. Your eyes are blinking.
Like
those are
funny or shady.
Those are involuntary bodily functions. So you have children who have a body. Their body is a machine. There's things that the machine does, whether they want it to, whether you want it to or not. And I feel bad for kids who, like, as a child, you should be able to talk to your parents about everything, but it's also the parents' job to create the space for there to be openness, and the parents should be leading these conversations around the body. Like, and so I think if anything, the school trying to do this on behalf of parents or access to parents should be a kicker and a jump starter for parents to say, okay, I got to get real about educating my child, not necessarily about sex, but just about their fucking body.
Yeah, I have to put myself together, and I gotta stop, like, saying, go chill out, get out of grown folks' business, or go sit down because I just got off work and I don't feel like being bothered. I gotta stop and think like, yeah, I may not feel being bothered, but it's something that I need to teach my child, and I need to stop pushing it off or pushing them off, and I'm letting them learn from the internet, YouTube, whatever, social media, the teachers at school. And I need to take my time out and get from beside myself and stop being selfish and teach my child what my child needs to know, what I think and what I feel true that my child needs to know, not what I was taught from my parent that was taught from another parent, but what I know is right. I need to teach them what I want them to do and what I need them to do as far as what's going to make them successful and understand it and know the real things. I can't teach them no fake stuff. I got to keep it real and keep it honest.
Keep it real. Yeah.
Take that time and teach them that because I know better. But a lot of times as parents, and I can agree, I done had my moments, I don't teach them all the way it's right. I just yeah, go ahead, whatever, and, be along with that. But then I'm mad when my child haven't understood or got in line with that, and that's my fault. I got to blame myself. As parents, we have to blame myself because we didn't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even like I'm reading some of this stuff here, like so even
Yeah,
like
I saw a comment.
a lovely day one is saying pedophilia is being normalized, unfortunately. And so like see,
Exactly.
but that's so like it's a two-part issue happening here.
It's a
Because a part of that goes back to what I was saying just now around like everybody gets triggered up when it comes to the taboo subject of like the body, sexuality, everything that falls under the category of being in this machine. And one of the things that we do when we are afraid is we use the fear of the pedophiles as a way to run away from the subject itself. The pedophilia subject is a subject that is a real issue, but it also doesn't excuse the fact that there needs to be dialogue and parents and children need to be able to have these conversations effectively and successfully. And it makes it hard to do that when you have a lot of parents who identify religiously, who once again already have a taboo around the body, already have a taboo around sex and sexual intercourse and masturbation. There's a grown man, let me roll up to his comment real quick. There's a grown man in the comment section. Let me see. I saw his comment here, and he said, "Hold on, let me see this king, white kids. No, my parents. Okay, Elijah Blair. Elijah Blair says, "Me and my parents never had the talk." That's sad. That's very unfortunate.
How old is he?
Well, he looks like an adult male in his thumbnail, so I know he's grown. He's grown, and he's saying him and his parents never had that talk. And I know plenty of people who never had that conversation. I still don't think that it's I don't think it's the goddamn school's place to have that fucking conversation. But I do think we need to have a conversation around the conversations parents are and aren't having with their children. Because as you just said, Toots, the reality is we can live in these bubbles all we want. We can live in these fantasies in our minds all we want. The reality is we're living in reality, okay? Our children are in bodies, okay? They're being exposed to things. Your only quest and question as the one in the authoritative position has to be, how soon do you want to dictate the information that your child has about their body, about sex, or do you want to lead them to be educated by pornography? Do you want to lead them to be educated by their friends who are watching pornography on the lunch break? Do you want to lead them to be informed by explicit movies that they may not be watching under your watch, but when they're at the cousin's house, when they're at somebody else's house spending the night, they're getting educated and witnessing all type of shit. And so none of us as the authority can afford to exist within a bubble and live in this fantasy that my child is going to stay a child. Our parents said the same thing about us. They instructed us to stay in a child's place. And guess what? We very much so stayed in adult shit, despite being told to stay in a child's place. Yes, because your child is in the world. Like, children are like dogs. Dogs sniff around their environments in order to understand their environments. They lick, they touch everything to understand. Children have a natural curiosity. That's just innate. It's ingrained in all of us. And
all in our nature.
You can have the conversation any way that you want to with your child, but I think that the point is you should have the conversation, and there should be a comfortability and a fluidity between parents and children about things that are just want to be natural. And being curious about the way your body works is natural. We have one. And children don't know how their bodies work. They're feeling things. They're looking at things they don't understand. And if you are uncomfortable as well as the educator, as the parent, then hell, you're leaving your child to be unequipped and to be ignorant about these things. And then you can't be mad when they are extrapolating information.
I want to cut in on that one. A lot of us as parents we know we have to educate our children and get them to understand what is going on, the real life and real world. But we also sometimes can find ourselves nervous on what we teach our kids because we want to make sure we teach them the right way. And some of us that may not feel like we may have it right or got it right because of our previous history with our parents and how they taught us and how they mold us and come from the masses, which is older than them, we still kind of like be questioning, is we teaching our children the right stuff sometimes, because it's like I can teach what my mama taught me, but what my mama taught me might not be right. And on a lot of terms we know what a lot of shit that our parents taught us that's not right, but then it's a little, little holes and loops and stuff to where we not sure about that. So a lot of us sometimes will be like, okay, how am I supposed to handle this or say that? And then it's like a lot of new things that's going on, like from 2001 to like now we're in 2021. It's a lot of stuff that changed and a lot of stuff that evolved that didn't happen probably to our parents and their parents' parents. And it's new and like we trying to figure out and make sure we give the valid, opinion or thoughts or to tell them and teach them the things on certain subjects that it's new to us and everybody else, which is older than us. So we trying to make sure we give them the right knowledge. And
Yeah,
so we
absolutely.
all learning, because I can learn from my 7-year-old or my 9-year-old, and they can learn from me, and I can learn from my granddaddy, and my granddaddy be 80 next year, and he gonna learn from me, and
Yeah,
I'll be 32 next month.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to welcome Barbara. Hey, Miss Barbara.
Hi,
Hey,
sweetheart. How you doing? I have to come to say hello to my king.
Yes,
Uh,
God. Hello, Queen. Now I know you got some words for us, baby.
oh yes, you got to just bear with me. I live
Okay,
in this.
I'm gonna bear with you. I'm gonna work with you.
No, no, no. I was just saying I live in New York City where that little
Mm.
boy was shot at the grocery store. So I'm a little
Oh.
heartbroken. But I wanted
Mm-hmm.
to, the Holy Spirit told me to talk to you about
Mm-hmm.
sexual conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And my whole thing is this. Our ancestors taught us naturally how to not get pregnant using birth control. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
They stole this knowledge. They do not want to give us this knowledge because the government is giving us other things, blood clots, and with all these birth controls. It's nobody place to teach my child about sex but me. If I don't
Yes.
want to teach my child about sex,
Mm-hmm.
that's my choice. That's my
Mm-hmm.
choice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't trust the government to teach my child nothing. That's my
Mm-hmm.
point. The government has never gave our children the true education about anything. That's my point. Allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I believe allegedly. That they never truly educated our kids. There are enough scientists in this world to show us how our children can have sex that we can teach our children without having to do all of this birth control thing. Now, the morals are gone. It's not the government place to teach my child anything, but they so-called education that they mandate them to learn. That's not your child. Get your paws off of them. My baby, let me just keep it on my little baby, and,
Mm-hmm.
my daughters, like, uh, I, ow. I lived in Tompkins County, Ithaca, New York. Every day I talked to my daughters because we was in an area where AIDS and HIV and herpes and everything was frivolous
Mm-hmm.
because everybody was sharing everybody, with
Mm-hmm.
so every day I talk to my children. It's the parents' responsibility, not the child. I don't want to be too long-winded, but I just wanted to say it's the
Mm-hmm.
parents' responsibility. Out of sight, out of mind. You
Yeah.
understand? Like, even though you believe that there's some thugs that will turn your kids out, a lot of people don't live in those kind of areas.
Yeah.
When I lived in Tompkins County, my neighbors wasn't no thugs. My neighbors was airline pilots and, prominent people with good
Mm-hmm.
children, not worried about sex. They want to poison our children's minds about sex. I love everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I love even my people that claim to be homosexual. I don't care
Mm-hmm.
about what they do sexually. I don't want to hear it. I love them. I love
Mm-hmm.
them. That's it. We got to stop being in our people bedrooms. It's not our business. It's not our
Mm-hmm.
business. We just have to love one another. Teach that
Yeah.
education that you mandate everybody to teach. But leave my kids alone. It's not your business. So that's my point.
But you know, Miss Barbara, you
Yes.
just hit on a really good point. I actually would have much preferred them to do an education video on love and romance than
Exactly.
actually directing it towards sex, because I mean, at the end of the day, sex, I mean, people are going to have sex at some point. Sex is going to be a byproduct of human bond and connecting to other folk. But I think that, especially for young people, the starter conversation should have been around love and romance and the feelings that can come about, and how into like that you can, and around intimacy, which doesn't even have to be about sex. Like, there are lots of people in relationships who experience intimacy and don't have to be sexual in order to experience that intimacy, which is just a deepening of affection toward each other. That can just be spending time. That can just be really hearing each other out. That can just be sharing and trusting each other and just finding ways to deepen y'all's trust. And I think
they need to teach children respect. Let me give you an example. You understand? Respect. What is being homophobic? They need to teach the respect to children, you know, but not the sex education. Respect. Yeah. Mind your damn business. They need to teach respect. You understand? Susie has 2 mothers. You understand? Mm-hmm. When you go to Susie's house, don't go back to school and say, Susie got 2 mothers, Susie got 2 mothers. Teach your kids respect, not just business. Mind your business. Stay in your child's place. Respect. Teach your respect. Don't go picking on him because he wants to wear pink. Teach a child respect. Oh, that's what the lack of respect. See, they teaching our children the sex education. They want to know what's underneath the pants. What they doing? You know,
that's disgusting.
Yeah, it's a lot. Hi, Naya. How are you?
Hi.
What's
I can't
going
wait
on?
to the party. I just read the title and I was like,
It's a lot going on.
I was like, what? Oh my God.
That's my only thing. They need to teach kids respect.
Yes, I agree.
And I can agree with exactly what you're saying. You know, you gotta teach kids respect, and they need to respect a parent's wishes. What happens in, I feel like, with USA, or what you want to call it, they don't respect parents as a whole of what they say to their kids. They don't want to respect their wishes or their thought process. People teach their kids. So
you don't have a right. There are children that are, you know, I live in an immigrant area. You understand? These children are not running around trying to look up another girl pants. Their father's gonna tell them who to marry. You understand? Exactly. But the government wants to take that away from us, our culture away from us, and make us thugs and niggas and hoes and sluts.
Exactly.
You don't give my child no condom. You don't teach my child how Susie's father makes sex.
No, it's crazy. Not right now.
It's not my child business how these things is going on unless I want to tell them. My baby. Ruining my baby. But not to listen to me. They creating niggas and monsters and sluts and hoes. You don't give my 15-year-old. If somebody would have gave my 15-year-old child in that room right now that's a straight A student condoms, he would be wanting to know where he can use it. His focusing would have been on the condom.
Not how you would feel.
Let me take the little girl in the back of the damn subway and use the condom. Oh, I got to use this condom. They gave it to us. Use it. No, I don't think so. But I wanted to talk to, but I want my king to go to my page because I made a page how I don't want children to do a fellatio. It's not a part of sex. They thinking it's straight up a part of sex. My oldest daughter, she's 21. She thinks fellatio is I'm not trying to, I didn't mean to, but she gonna tell me, I'm quite sure you suck dick in your day. What make you think that's a part of sex? No, I'm sorry, 22, 20, I've been called worse, but I'm saying, she think that, like she said, well, you was sucking dick. What make you think that's a part of sex? That's not a part of sex. In other words, I'm saying, as adults, we want to make those choices. They are teaching that's a part of sex. That's the way people have sex. You know, the way they teaching our young generation the way they have sex is to straight up go to the mouth. No, That's not how kings and queens originally made love. People put that in. That's all I'm saying. I'm not
No,
trying.
I get it. I get it.
You know, I'm not trying to strike what other people do. I love them still. I mean, that's their business. You an adult, that's your choice to do adult business. You know, that's your business, you as an adult. But I'm saying don't teach my child fellatio is a part of sex, because it's not. It's a part of being, it's a part if you want to use it to appease it, you know, appease people in the way you want it, but that's not a part of natural sex. And they thinking anal sex and fellatio is a part of natural, you know, their natural sex. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you
I totally understand.
Your business is your business. My business is my business.
Right.
That's why I say when people so-called label themselves lesbian, so-called label themselves, because let me give you a Holy Spirit a reaction where I think all this came from. The government altered our people to be this way with the pharmaceuticals. Putting the lotion and powders on the ball, lotion them up real good. Johnson & Johnson, Johnson & Johnson, all on our baby. And now the babies are different kind of ways. And I think the pharmaceuticals turned them into that way, and they can't help it. From the immunization shots, our government turned our people that way. They did. And they did. If they did not, right, they wouldn't have the medicine to further finish turning them that way.
Okay. Hold on for 1 minute, Miss Barb. Hey, Oz.
How you doing?
Hey,
hello.
Boo. Hello.
Can you hear me?
I think you're having some connection issues. Are
Hello?
you breaking up a little bit? Hello. Can you hear me?
My stupid. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear us? Can you hear us? Uh-oh. I think you're having some connection issues.
I might have to leave and come back in. I don't know if y'all can hear me at all. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay. There we go. How y'all doing?
We are good. We are pretty turned on this issue. What are your thoughts around?
Yeah. I'm so glad my children are not in school anymore, because I would have been in jail.
Period.
I would have straight been in jail. That would not have happened without my permission. You must be kidding. Are you telling them that it's never okay for an adult to be touching them in this matter, that you telling them it's okay to be touching themselves in? I mean,
right.
How far are we really going into this? The fact that they want to keep on, every single year I see something more and more sexual about the way they're representing kids. Every year it's getting closer and closer every year. To them flat out saying, hey, it's okay, go ahead, go a kid. Like, seriously.
Excuse me, I want to make a statement because somebody is calling me homophobic. Let me explain something to you. Not in this lifetime. My soul do not disrespect no beautiful living God. You understand me, son? I'm talking what's real. I'm talking about the natural way that we were supposed to have sex. You understand what I'm saying? People can make their own choices. That's their personal business. I'm staying out of people's business. That's all I'm saying. I'm loving you for the king you are and the queen you are. Or if you want me to adjust you any other way, like T.S. Madison, I love her. She needs to come out with her own foundation. So you understand? You understand me? That's all I got to say. And
yes.
I'm saying that the pharmaceuticals definitely put something in all of that Johnson & Johnson allegedly. That's what I have. That's what I feel. You understand? That's what I feel, because from birth these people feel like this, and that they was altered from birth. With the
you're talking about in terms of the trans thing, the trans identity,
no,
the transgenderism.
Like, just everything, just feeling that way. You know, like I feel like there's certain chemicals they gave us to change us. Let's change.
Okay.
You know?
Well, I don't want us to get too far away from the subject, but we can definitely have a show around that. all of that for sure. I do
Okay.
want to play the video again for those who are just coming in who didn't get to see the content. So we're going to play the video one more time for you guys who missed it. And this is the video from private school Dalton Elementary out in New York City. They showed this to the students. They did not consent with the parents. And it's around masturbation and etc. So
no. Oh my God.
yeah. So I'm gonna mute everybody's cam so that everybody can hear the video, and then we can get back to the reaction here. And I know Vanessa has something she wanted to say as well. And I think Naya, we're gonna get to YouTube, boo. Okay, so let's just listen real quick at this video. Let's play it. Let me stop sharing the screen. Actually, I need to share. Let me share the screen real quick. Share. Big. For those of you who haven't seen the video, we're going to play the video again one more time, okay? All right, here we go.
Hey, how come my penis gets big sometimes and points up in the air? That's called an erection. Sometimes I touch my penis because it feels good. Sometimes when I'm in my bath or when Mom puts me to bed, I like to touch my vulva too. You have a clitoris there, Kayla, that probably feels good to touch the same way Keith's penis feels good when he touches it. But have you ever noticed that older kids and grown-ups don't touch their private parts in public? They don't? That's right, Keith. It's okay to touch yourself and see how different body parts feel, but it's best to only do it in private.
So let's hear that one more time for the folk in the back.
Points up in the air. That's called an erection. Sometimes I touch my penis because it feels good. Sometimes when I'm in my bath or when Mom puts me to bed, I like to touch my vulva too. You have a clitoris there, Kayla, that probably feels good to touch the same way Keith's penis feels good when he touches it. But have you ever noticed that older kids and grown-ups don't touch their private parts in public? They don't? That's right, Keith. It's okay to touch yourself and see how different body parts feel, but it's best to only do it in private.
No, absolute. Okay, I'm gonna unmute everybody. Oh shit, I don't know what I did. Hold on, you guys. I don't know what the hell I done fucked up my screen. I don't know what the hell happened just now. Okay, here's everybody. I want to bring this back forward. Okay, let me unmute. No, King, this is not satire. This is real shit. Parents in New York City are completely
This is some ridiculous
New York
nonsense.
parents are outraged about this video playing to their babies, honey.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
That was
so
amethyst.
let me get this straight. Kids are masturbating in the classroom because she said do it in private. Are children in New York City at the moment touching themselves in the classroom?
No, I don't believe so.
So what? Why?
Hope not.
See the
I hope not.
See the innocence. It's the innocence that you're taking away from your children.
She was like, only do it in private. I'm like, wait, so they're doing it in public? Like, what's going on?
Well, a
bunch of grooming. A whole bunch of grooming. That's what's happening.
I'm in disbelief.
Yo, Satan himself made that video. I can't believe that.
Baby.
Sometimes I touch my vulva too. Like, what the fuck is going on?
You know what? Listen. This is in New York City. Is this in New York City where I live?
Yeah, it's in New York. It's wild.
I'm gonna look up a Dalton school and see what part of what is that.
Mayor de Blasio was putting black people in shelters for $15,000 in slavery, so they're doing anything they want to do to us. It's ridiculous.
Vanessa, are you there, boo? Because I know you had something you wanted to say.
Yes, I'm here, but I told you I probably forgot now.
Oh God, okay. Well, so let me just ask y'all. Thoughts around. So when would you all, and I'm just go down the line just to maintain some order here so that everybody don't talk over each other. So I'm gonna go down the line. When just take sex out of your mind. When do you think it is appropriate for your child to start inquiring to you about the way their body works? Like, would you feel uncomfortable if that conversation was attempting to be had even as early as 6, at 7 years old, about their body and their body parts? Vanessa,
I already knew you was gonna put me first. I already knew that.
of course, I'm going down
I
chronological
was
order.
ready. I was
Mhm.
listening to this conversation. I was, focusing on because I did take psychiatry in school. So what I did learn about concept learning, all the other different stuff is like it can happen pretty much at any age for me. I feel like my child, I would be okay if my child was able to say 6 or
Okay,
maybe
hold on,
7.
Vanessa. It's a lot of somebody got a lot of background noise. So can everybody just mute themselves until they have something
Yeah,
to say? So
Hello?
okay, yes.
Like I said, I took psychiatry, in school and stuff when I went to college. I learned a lot of different things like concept learning, all that stuff, whatever. I would say maybe 7 or 8, possibly, because
Okay.
I know it can come on early just by my research in science.
Okay. Second question.
Uh-huh.
If your child came to you and asked you, is it okay for them to start masturbating?
Oh Lord, you got me stuck. Hold on.
Look, I'm gonna ask y'all the hard questions, honey. I'm gonna ask y'all the real shit now. If your child came to you and said, when they done hit puberty and everything is hitting, is it okay for them to?
What age will we be at?
So let's just say 12, 13. 12,
Okay.
13.
Okay. Lord, please don't
Would
say
they?
8 or 9.
Would they?
Okay.
Well,
12,
look,
13.
some of them actually having full on. They doing the do at 8 or 9, but we're just gonna say 12 or 13, just for conversation's sake.
I'm gonna have to break it down, and because it's a girl version and it's a boy version. Like we're having a son. I am gonna may piss a lot of people off. I can agree because with a son they have the testosterone going on and they'll get hard and stuff, and I'm gonna be a little bit content and okay with it because I know they gotta handle it. But like with a girl, I feel like she might have got a little bit more influence, but I cannot even lie. In my day, I know what I felt like, and I'm gonna have to be honest with myself and with her. And at some point, I'm gonna have to be okay with it. That's how I feel about it.
Okay. All right. It's all personal. I want to greet Monica before we go to Miss Barbara. Hey, Monica. What's going on, baby?
I'm doing good, boo. My voice is a little hoarse, but I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Nice to let for you to have me back on your show. I know I set it off the last time.
I live for it. I live for every bit of it. I'm not bad. So you already know what we talking about. I'm just going to go in chronological order and just
I'm real opinionated, so I got to come on and get my my 2 cents.
All right.
Here's how I look at it as these kids know what sex is. I don't underestimate these kids. See, people seem to want to underestimate these kids. I don't underestimate these damn kids. I know these kids. They know what masturbation is. They know what sex is. Hell, they probably watching porn. They know how to look up porn and all that. So when I see something like this, it don't really bother me because these kids already know what it is. See, some stupid adults seem to think these kids don't know. They know what it is. They know exactly what the fuck it is. They know about dicks and pussies and all that mess. They know all about it all. And if you don't think they don't, you're kind of slow because they do. They understand. I knew from as far back as I can remember what I liked. you know. And I got erections, didn't nothing come out, but I know I got erections. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
You know, I got erections I got erections since I've been getting erections as far as I don't know how long, third, fourth grade. You know, and I know what I like all my life. People are born, you know, like you're born gay, you're born trans, you're born straight, you're born that way. You know, which I knew what I liked for the longest time. This never got in my mind. So,
I did too. I can say the same thing. I did too. Yeah.
Motherfuckers, especially black folks, talking about when did you choose it? I didn't choose nothing. Like, bitch, when did you choose to be straight? And here's what kills me. Like I said the last time, they act like they care about these kids so much. What about when these kids are committing suicide from bullying or getting killed in the streets or being abused? It was a 2-year-old that got kidnapped and killed in Las Vegas by his mama boyfriend. Where were you niggas at then? But y'all want to act like y'all care about kids so much. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I'm gonna piggyback a little bit off of what you just said about that, because what I find interesting, even pertaining to this conversation around like sex education in the youth, is people at like the same parents who have this idea that children should remain pure, and they should, also forget that their interest in sex is also coming from plenty of the things that those same parents are exposing their children to. Like, you don't think that when you're in the car and you're commuting with your child from the grocery store to house or from school back to home, and you got Cardi B WAP playing, and you got a Trick Daddy, and you got all this raunchy ass music that they're listening to, that they're internalizing, like the things that you're allowing them to freely watch on TV, like you are the one gassing your child up to go participate in very adult-like activity before it's really their time. And so, you know, we got to like bridge the connections here, and I can totally agree with that, even with what you were saying about like these kids know what they're doing. I was just saying earlier in this conversation that when we were in elementary school, we were playing High Go Get It. We were hunching. We were doing all of that stuff as kids. We were playing house. We were doing all of those things. And so there is a part of the culture that's also grooming young people to be sexual before their time. Like, think about what you're doing when you are giving a baby doll to your little girl. You already are creating the potential for the conversations around pregnancy, the way her uterus works. I mean, baby the idea, mama. Yeah, like being a baby mama, being a mother, like, but she can't be a mother without what? Having sex. And so all these things are starting at a young age in our culture, and we don't even know it. And we're so polarized by conversations around sex education whilst putting our young people in situations that prematurely exposed them to very adult things. Why do we have little girls being groomed for men by having,
This is me, Vanicia. I was saying I agree with both of what y'all saying. Like, I can't even say it no better.
No, he jumped the line. I was waiting for my question.
Okay, boo. Well, the question is,
hold on, we're gonna get back in order. Let me get ready for my question. I was veering up. So we still in order, or are we gonna?
Yes. So go ahead, Miss Barbara.
Ask me my question.
Okay, so at what age? Okay, so it's two questions. At what age would you? Okay, so at what age is it okay for your child to start asking you about the way their body works? Not even related to sex, but just the way their own autonomy is. How does my private part work? What is this grandma? What is this mama? When do you think is an appropriate age for you to engage that conversation?
5 years old.
Oh, okay. 5 years old. Okay, second question. When is it so if your child, once your child hits puberty, and I'm going to say in the general age of 12 and 13 years of age, if they came to you as a girl or a boy or both and said, is it okay for me to masturbate, Mom? Is that the right thing to do? Is that healthy? What is your response to that inquiry?
Wow, now I see why that young lady said this is a boy and a girl thing. You know, now I see why she said that. No, because for my daughter, no. But for my son, yes. I would jerk it off.
Now, why not for the daughter?
Well, because she's supposed to stay pure for the men, you know.
Oh God, Miss Barbara, you gonna gaslight so many people in my comments. Oh
No,
God.
I'm just saying that's just for my family.
Yes,
That's
yes,
we have different families in this world.
yes, we do.
You understand what I'm saying? We have
Yes.
we have all different kind of lifestyles, all different kind of families, and people being born certain ways, you know, altered right from the beginning.
Yeah.
Embolization shots, you know, milk, music, cereal, they did it all in. They did us all. You know.
So then let me play devil's advocate just a little bit before I move to Miss Monica and then to Miss Oz and then Tanaya.
You could get me. I'm ready.
So you don't
get me, tear my ass up.
I'm not gonna tell you if I love you, Miss Barbara. I'm not gonna tell you.
We still love each other. Tear my ass.
No, I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna tell you, Miss Barbara. I forgot. No.
Tear my ass up.
No.
Respectful, son. I love you.
No.
You gotta tear my ass up.
I'm not Miss Barbara. I'm not Miss Barbara.
I want it.
Miss Barbara. I know you want it, but you ain't gonna get what you want today. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not gonna tear you up, okay? It's not necessary.
No, it is necessary. If I I feel more altered. I need to have my ass tore up so I can explain.
No.
So I can explain. No, it's not. When I say, come on, we're gonna make this happen today. Let's go.
Okay, but I'm not gonna tell you up. But we get to have it. But we gonna have the conversation for sure. We're gonna have the conversation for sure. So you don't think that it's just that there is a double standard in you greenlighting masturbation for your teenage son, but saying to the girl, hey, stay pure to your husband.
Ours could drip out. Let me make it easy for you. Ours could drip out. The boys got to jerk it out. What you want to get the boys double blue balls? See, ours could drip out. We can't, you know what I'm saying? Like if you have to have it, you have to have it. You're going to, if you know, the boys got to get that erect out. If not, is, you know, I don't know. I'm not a man. You tell me. Stay there.
I'm just giving a hypothetical of you have a girl who enters into puberty. Her hormones are just as rigid and just as wild as her brother's hormones is. She's feeling the natural impulses to be with a man because that's what her body is communicating to her, is to go engage in intercourse.
That's not the same question.
That's the same question around the masturbation. If she's coming to you and saying, as an alternative, mama, is it okay for me to masturbate? Can I begin masturbating?
No, she got to use a dildo.
I mean, but that's all a part of masturbation, Miss Barbara. Like, or whether she want to use her hands, a dildo, you can insert whatever there. But I'm just...
You got to stay pure. No.
But what does that mean, stay pure? Like, what does that mean?
Don't be broken. Like, you know, don't put nothing
Are you saying... Okay.
Don't stick your fingers, nothing. Don't stick your fingers, nothing.
So you're basically saying, don't do anything to pop your cherry. That's for your husband.
Right. Well, you know, if it could be, you know, if it could be my dream, yes, every mother will love that.
Right.
You know, it's not, you know, half and about.
But here's my question to you, Miss Barbara. Why is it a man gets to forfeit that moment where he experiences his first orgasm with his wife, but the woman has to wait to have that moment with someone who's more experienced, because the man has already been allowed to figure himself out in that way? Like, shouldn't they both be able to be amateurs in that moment and have that moment together, the man and the woman?
Let me explain something to you. A woman body doesn't have to ejaculate. It does. Some women, come on, women, back me up with this. Some women have sex all day life and never come. Women, every woman has never. There's not every woman that experienced an orgasm. Women don't have.
I can agree with her and say that can be true. I can agree with her.
Okay,
it's not true for me, but I can agree that it's chances and times in life that a woman would die before she experienced her orgasm. That is true.
Yeah, like some women never had to say. So I'm saying we don't have to orgasm, but a man do. Where you gonna put that? It gotta come out. You see, you're probably in pain or something, right? I don't know. Is a man in pain if he can't jerk it off? Like if it's there, like if it has to come out? I don't know.
A man doesn't have to. A man can have inner orgasms too. Like when
I got a joke for you. They didn't teach me sex education like that.
You know what?
Make a joke.
I'm gonna definitely have to bring your ass back, Mr. Barber, for the conversation because we got some things that we need to take a fine tooth comb
We're
through.
gonna have to put that for another conversation another day.
Told me and you gonna have a good show.
Yes, we definitely. Miss Monica.
Yeah, baby.
So you become a mother. When is it okay for your young child to come to you and ask you questions about the way their body work? When do you think you would be comfortable talking to them?
Well, I feel comfortable talking to them at any time because you know people's body is different. That's what you got to understand. Not everybody's body is the same. People's body is different. People hit puberty at different times. You know, people balls drop at different times. You know, girls get their first period at different times. You know, that shit happens differently. You know, so they can come at me anytime because I know when I was that age, I know how I felt. You know, so
right.
they can come ask me at any time. I'm not gonna put an age limit on when they can come talk to me. They can come talk to me anytime. I'm mama. They can come talk to me anytime about anything. I'm not gonna judge them. And as far as a man ejaculating, I know what this lady said. Yeah, a man does need to ejaculate because if he don't, his penis can get so hard that it can start hurting. You know, and if it can get to hurting, and they can cause other trouble.
Yes, that's what I wanted to know. Excuse me. That's what I wanted to know. If the man don't get it out, it hurt, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I can surely tell you that doesn't happen for a woman. That does not happen for a woman. And I can also tell you something else. If a woman go messing with her clit, it takes off her natural reaction to be able to climax. Like if you use all them dildos and everything, it takes off the purity of you being able to have a real orgasm because you
still get moist. You still get moist.
You wear it out. You wear like okay, a woman. Okay, I seen somebody with like when you were speaking. I wasn't trying to interrupt you. Somebody said a woman like massage the clit. No, that's not that. First of all, that's not where a woman orgasm comes from. That's where a sensation comes from, not the orgasm. The orgasm is further up in the uterus.
But she didn't say Miss Barbara, but she said a masturbation for females don't have to include
a masturbation. So when we masturbate, we gotta come, right?
Well, not necessarily. I mean, you don't have to
come. The clit makes you have a sensation. The clit does not bring down your orgasm.
Like when you have
no. The only wet thing is your damn mouth. The clit.
What?
Oh God, have mercy.
No, I'm trying to tell you something. The clitoris does not make you come. You don't like
wet though. No, it don't come from
the clitoris.
No,
I was trying to get you, but
the tip of a penis. The tip of the penis is not the same as the clitoris, son.
I'm a woman.
Not the same sensations. The tip of a penis is not the same sensation as a. I mean, you understand me? Listen, the woman comes from the inside. Our orgasm, it contracts from the uterus inside, like you know, when the man dick is in there. That when your tip of your dick go, that's where we come. That's where our climax comes from. That's what makes you wet. That's where it comes from. It don't come from that clit. Ain't nothing coming out that clit.
Yeah, but it's coming from inside the pussy though.
Huh?
You know, it's coming from inside the pussy though. So no, that's not ejaculation per se. But
okay, I just want to understand how we get into this conversation. We supposed to talk about the kids, okay? And about
who's talking?
Hold on. Okay. No, I'm just joking out. I'm intrigued by the whole conversation.
Hold on,
that's cool, but I was just like, how we get here?
Well, let me just say, because I started asking these questions about like the time and when one can, because the conversation is about masturbation. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, though. Yes, because everybody won't be able to. So here's one of the things, though. See, men also have a inner orgasm as well. Like, we don't have to necessarily ejaculate. Like, sometimes we do something called edging, and honestly, like,
hold up. Don't say that word and don't give the damn definition.
Okay.
We didn't know what the definition is because we still need to know about our men. Some of us. You teach us the definition of what you just called, what you said it called. Because some of us didn't know, because some of us got men or however it go, you know. We need to know.
I'm not a big component of masturbating. I would rather just have a damn man, but masturbation as well. Like, for me, like, so I've been celibate twice in my life. I went like 8 years. With no
virgin.
That's a lot.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Hold on. Can I say something? I want to bring this question up.
I can't go that long.
Hey, Lady T.
How you doing? Okay. Yeah. I will be 32 next month, right? I never had to masturbate to myself. What as far as sex or whatever, it's sex. I don't feel like I had to play with myself, get a toy or anything. And people could think that I'm a joke because of that, but that's the honest truth. I ain't never do all that or had to do all that. I just feel like if I want something to feel good where I need to feel good at, I'm gonna go have sex. I just don't understand, like, with the masturbation and all this. What does that do for y'all? Because I don't understand that.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what it do for me. I'm gonna tell you what it do for me. I'm gonna tell you what it did for me. First of all, it kept 8 years worth of body counts down to 0 for one, and then
I mean, my body count ain't up there. Look, I'm not over 20. I'm
just saying that a lot of people practice masturbation as a way of keeping a whorism count very low because it is just a nice little substitute. Plus, it's STI and STD free. So you don't have to worry about a lot of other things. And then thirdly, if you got that good puss and you know that you ain't in a position to be just giving this to every other man and getting these niggas crazy and fatal attraction over you, it also just keeps you from giving it to crazy ass niggas. You giving it to yourself. You might just need an in and an out right now, just a quick little release. Okay, so it's just right. It keep the babies down. I mean, it's there are a lot.
That's true. I ain't gonna say just keep the babies down, but I can say for a fact for 14 years I only had 2 partners.
No, we gotta have.
And I'm the one to ask y'all the question.
It's a lot of people having babies. I'm so happy being free. I'm child.
Folks having babies that they don't need.
What kind of you not gonna have a baby?
No, hold on. Who's speaking?
Okay, hold on.
Lady T.
Hold on. Hold on. I'm going to direct the shift. Hey, Lady T, how are you?
I'm well. I came up when we were talking about orgasms and the sensitivity of the clit and the penis.
Hey.
I wanted to add something or go back to that. There's different versions. For females, there are 2 types of orgasms. There's clitoral orgasms and vaginal orgasms. Clitoral orgasms happen when you just stimulate the clitoris. And the vaginal orgasms happen with some sort of insertion. And in addition to that, the clitoris, we're all female originally, like, and then, as we begin to develop in the womb, the clitoris either becomes the penis, and then the balls come out side of the body, or they stay in, which is what our ovaries are, and then all the other magic happens. So there are very, very simple. The clitoris and the head of the penis are the same as far as the nerve endings, because it originally started out as, you know,
Hey,
that's you know, I don't know if everybody's aware of that, but that's the way it goes. And
That's science.
that's science.
Come on with the technical. Okay. Well, did y'all know about all this inner and outer clitoris stimulation?
Not
Ladies,
I can speak on that one.
Yes and no.
At least I can say I love
I knew.
I feel like
In saying that, Ms. Coleman is absolutely correct. If you use it, if you utilize it too much, you can lose sensitivity in that area. And
exactly, it's not for that. You know, you can wear it out. It's not even. Let me explain this. What God just told me. It's not even supposed to give you an orgasm. That's not an orgasm.
Ain't got no light
It's
bulb.
a sensation.
Well, if it's not supposed to, it's doing a damn good job of doing so.
yeah.
it's an orgasm. It's not
It's a sensation.
I have both. I have both the inner and the outer. Now, when I have the outer, it's from extreme stimulation, and I have a little itty bitty one. I don't have a big one. I got a little one. So it takes some rubbing, but I definitely have an orgasm. Now, when I do the inner one, I squirt. So I ejaculate. I have female ejaculation. Okay,
Baby.
when I go on the inside, it's everywhere.
Baby.
Wait a minute. When did you discover this? Because for yours to be little, you might have rubbed it down.
Miss Barbara.
I discovered it.
Pour it down like a nerd.
I discovered it. This goes back. This takes the original conversation about children and masturbation, because I discovered.
Oh, we can definitely go back to that topic.
Yes. Because I was going to say too.
I punched my little butt up under the faucet in the tub.
Where
wow.
Listen, let the grown adults learn too.
I came in late. Where was the consensus in regards to first graders watching PSAs on how to masturbate or what masturbation is?
Yeah. So before we get back there, I want to say to Miss Oz, honey, if y'all seen this fine piece of chocolate man she got, y'all will understand why she ejaculated every damn where. Okay. Okay, for one, honey. Okay. But Lady T, yeah. So getting back to the original topic, the original dialogue, we were talking about, you know, like, what is the gap between, like, children and their own autonomy, when that should be taught, and when, you know, and is masturbation a healthy introduction for young people when it comes to sex? Should they be learning about this? Should they be learning about their bodies, etc., blah blah blah, at their age? Who said no? Somebody said no.
Yeah, they do.
I feel like it's an individual.
I want to know the real. I work with the kids for one at a time.
Let me tell y'all something.
I'm sorry.
Let me tell y'all
something. Hold on, y'all. I'm okay. Hold on. Who was talking just now? Like, I need us all to talk once at a time, because there's a lot of us, there's a lot of voices, and we need to hear everybody. So who was speaking just now? Is it Naya? Somebody was speaking?
Yeah.
I don't know who was speaking. Okay, Naya, go ahead.
The first time I ever got to sex talk was with my sister, and I was 8 to 7. I was raised by a single mother. She was like, well, you might as well get in here, because I'm about to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And she was trying to tell me what it was, and I said, I already knew. I already knew, because of the kids. I already knew. And she was like, okay, well, did you know this, this, and this? And I was like, yeah, I knew what semen was. I knew what that was because of the kids in New York City. I knew what it already was.
Can I ask you how old you are?
It was.
How old are you?
I was 8 and 7. Oh, you mean now?
No, how old are you now? Yeah.
22.
See, and I think that has a lot to do with with when you grew up too, because see, you're 22, so that you're about the same age as my daughters and stuff. So they're learning stuff. You guys are learning stuff much earlier too.
Yeah, and honestly, I knew what it was, so I wasn't curious at all. I wasn't curious at all.
See?
It did nothing for me. It disgusted me, really.
You kill all the curiosity. The more you demonize something, the more your kids gonna run after it, trying to do it. I told my kids about every doggone stupid thing I ever did, so that they would not repeat the same mistake. They looked at me and said, "No, I don't want to do that."
What I did to stop my daughters from having early sex, because I lived in Tompkins County where AIDS and HIV and herpes was frequent, right? I told them that they would catch that disease. You know, I said, listen, if you have sex, you're going to catch that disease. Here, all these people got that disease. I had them knowing, because it was the truth. I was honestly telling them the truth. The whole town was polluted because there was no other people and everybody was having sex with one another. So all of them had diseases.
Well, I'll tell you this. I worked with kids from the time I was 14 to about 7 years ago, right? And I would say, just from working with them, the age, because what they do with you all at home is different than when they're on the schoolyard or at the camp site or whatever. And
I had family members when I was younger, and I remember my cousin, her aunt would be like, "Did you wash a cootie cat?" And I would look at her like, "What the hell is a cootie cat? What is a Kit Kat? What is that?" And then my mother would be like, "Well, I was like, your vagina?" When I was young, your vagina. And my mother was like, "You're gonna know what the word is, because if somebody touch you, I need to know where they're touching you. I need to know what's going on."
That's very important. I told my daughter.
It ain't a ding dong, none of that. It's a penis and a vagina.
I told my daughter, she has a baby, 1 year old. And you know, she be wanting the baby to go with the father and all. Let me explain something to you. When your baby learn how to talk, that's when you let your baby go without you. When that baby can't talk, you don't let that baby go nowhere without you until you teach that baby to talk.
I agree about that.
At 5 years old, I give them the lesson. Who touched you? You got to give them the lesson. Who touched me? Private part, not to be touched there. That's when you start, when they 5. Don't let nobody touch your private part. This down here. Don't let nobody touch your breast.
When I went to family events, I will only hug the people that my mother hugged.
Because most kids are raped by the cousins. And you know, most kids are raped by their own family members when
a lot of
ain't no sitting on nobody lap.
A lot of molestation happen with that around the cousins and stuff.
Yeah.
You know? And
my thing is to let the kids know early in regards to, you know, stranger danger and good touch, bad touch, all that other
my
stuff.
friend was touched when she was younger.
But let me give y'all a joke. When I was young, I was trying to figure out how old I was under the bunk bed, and we was playing doctor.
Right, but the actual age, the sex talk should happen. Honestly, I would say
5.
10. No, I'm not talking about the sex talk as far as good touch, bad touch.
No, good touch, bad touch, that's everything.
And
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Hold on, y'all. Lady T, she needs to complete her actual statement.
Yeah, and I'm not talking about like the birds and the bees, because I think the birds and the bees, you know, could happen at like 5, 6. But like the sex talk, as far as like relationships and things like that, honestly, 10, because the kids that I was working with, they had full on relationships, and you could pass it off like,
yeah.
Exactly.
It's cute.
I was 12 and I was dating a 22-year-old.
That's why I say sex talk.
People are having that talk way too late.
When I was in school, people were having whole fucking relationships and all types
of stuff. You know what I mean?
Let me tell y'all something. When I was in middle school, it was this website called RedTube. I remember it.
It's still a website now. Yeah.
I know, but that's when it first started up. And it was this porn star named Pinky. And all the boys would pass her videos around.
I know who Pinky is.
They would just pass her videos around. And I remember that as a child. I remember them passing her videos around, and they would be like, "Go to this website." I'm thinking it's another YouTube. So I'm getting online with my cousin, and we're in middle school, and I see what I see. The first time I ever touched myself, I was 11, and I remember doing it and feeling I had so much sexual guilt because I felt like this was wrong. I was doing something wrong, and I cried after it. And then the following week, I ended up catching my period.
Oh,
wow.
See, now I got my way before I ever was sexually active, and I,
you know, so
I didn't even.
Huh? Somebody
became sexually active at age of 12 because of the
I think
fact
your phone
my
is
father
breaking
kept
up, Miss.
punching me.
I think
Can
your
you hear me
connection is
now?
breaking up. With, yeah, I think so.
Oh.
So wait a minute.
Is it better now?
But I just want to say this while she's fixing her phone. Listen, 5 years old, I want y'all to be clear. I'm saying the sex talk and everything, not just who touched me, the sex talk, everything. 5 years old. I said 5.
When you say sex talk, do you mean like the birds and the bees? Or do
the birds and the bees, the Adam and the trees, birds and the bee, because here.
Oh, Lord.
Right, yeah, that's what I meant. Like, I meant in regards to the birds and the bees and where babies come from.
Where babies come from
around that age.
You think they don't know at that age?
But here's
5 years old, baby. I'm teaching them that penis. Don't let the boy put the penis in you. Everything. That's the.
But I feel like
everything.
I feel like this. Then I feel like if the conversation around like personal autonomy and all of that stuff is going to be off the question. We also need to stop grooming girls at a young age to be prepped for men. We need to stop giving them baby dolls. We need to stop giving them easy bake ovens. We need to stop grooming them for men, because that's what all of that is centered around when we are programming little girls that way. And so it's like we are introducing the content but not wanting to have the conversation, which doesn't make sense to me.
Right. I mean, I don't necessarily think that that those dolls and things need to be taken away, but the conversation, if you're giving them the dolls and stuff like that and not having a conversation, then there's an issue, you know.
I think we need to keep our girls with the doll babies in the easy bake oven so they can learn how to be a good wife to their husband. You understand? I don't think we need to turn our women.
Don't do that.
Okay, so it's going back to
I'm not telling the young generation in the real world. Let them stay delicate and let the kings provide for them if they want to, whatever. No,
see, I got a whole
young generation into a bunch of construction workers. No.
But how can I be a good wife if there's no good husband?
There's no ways.
It's hard.
Look, I got a whole thing with
raising girls
with
to
the
be
whole
wives, but
idea
there's
of what
no
feminine and
husband.
masculine.
But that's
exactly.
But to Miss Barbara, but to your point, Miss Barbara, like, and somebody was just about to say it. I'm just gonna have to say it. Like, let's just get 100. It's like this patriarchal sexism double standard shit is bullshit, because while we're raising and grooming young girls to be good wives, we are absolutely not raising men to be good husbands. Boys are playing with Tonka trunks, G.I. Joes, rough housing, wrestling. None of those things pertain to knowing how to treat a damn woman, how to be in a damn relationship, how to be a provider or a father. We're not giving the boys baby dolls so they can know what it's like to change that damn diaper too.
Keep it going.
So that they can know how to change. Hold on, so that they can know how to change that goddamn diaper too. Like, it's the double standard for me. Like, I'm just gonna need it to go both ways, because it takes two to tangle. It takes two to make a household happen. It takes two to draw up a family and to have a healthy family. And so we can't be interested in this education for girls and then not keep our foot on the way that we're cultivating and nurturing young boys in terms of them being men and being fathers, if that's what they want to be. So I'm just saying, if it's going to go one way, it has to go both ways, because it's going to take both parts being effective in that way. And so I'm okay with little girls too, having easy bake ovens and having baby dolls and all of that. But also, I just want us to be aware that we're also introducing the content around sexuality and around her uterus, etc. Because the question then becomes, mommy, where does babies come from? Don't introduce a damn baby to me and then a plastic doll to me and then not want to have the damn conversation around where the damn plastic doll comes from, where does the child comes from, and then don't have little girls nurturing those babies and don't have the niggas playing with dolls too, because they're gonna be taking care of them damn children too. Your ass
They
gonna be
should be.
up at 3 in the morning
Exactly. Let
changing
them
diapers and
down.
feeding babies and doing all of that and knowing how formula works. And I'm just saying, let the system be balanced, complete the entire picture. If we don't, because see, this is where the divisiveness and the gender issues come in at, and why women feel that they are from Venus and men feel like they're from Mars.
Yeah, you speaking on gender issue. Let me tell you my story. My little daughter, child, we was in TJ Maxx. I'm dragging her to the doll section. She's dragging me to the car section with the little boys, with the little boy cars. So I'm like, no, we gotta go over here. She like, baby, I never got her to the doll section. She stayed in the car section, and she was athletic, very athletic, just always doing athletic things. She's a beautiful black queen, but I know of her having same-sex affairs. She don't think I know, but I do know of her doing that. But she just, honey, like y'all say, from birth child, please, she, you know, I think they're keeping it from me. They're keeping it from me because a personal friend that we grew up with came in the house and we was having an argument, and they was like, well, look how Diane turned out. I was saying, what? You know, what? But I do know of that particular daughter having same-sex relations. I know she did it. She won't have never admitted to me, but I know she did it. You know, but when she was a young baby, I tried to put that doll baby in her hand and she ain't want it. She threw that shit down. She wanted red cars. She wanted everything a boy wanted. And baby, she sat in the auditorium. She always sat with boys. She never had girlfriends. It was always boys. But the way she's structured, like you know, she's not butch. Her shape is so bona fide that she's just a walking beautiful queen. You know. So the men are on her now. So I don't know what's going on.
But that's another one of the issues, Ms. Barbara, too, is that we are assuming. Because see, a lot of the conversations too, even in this gender binary, leave out LGBT people. We are assuming that those little girls who we're giving baby dolls to are even going to grow up to be hetero and are feminine in that way. We're assuming that boys are masculine in this way. So go play outside, go ride the bike. I might want to be a damn ballerina rather than a wrestler.
You might be more graceful than the most graceful female ballerina.
Now she didn't want no dolls or nothing. No dolls, nothing girly, no girly colors, no girly nothing. The child was a little. I was so upset about Diane. No, she's making like the dog. She wanted trucks. No, mommy, she'll throw it down and go get the truck. And I was forcing ever since.
And is she straight? Is she a straight woman?
I believe that she's bisexual.
She's bisexual. Okay.
I believe
that's the thing.
Right now,
are you saying?
Right now,
every time a kid is born, they act like somebody is going to be like them. That's the thing.
Right.
So, like when I said last time with heterosexuals, acting like somebody oppressing them. When people are born, that's what they expected to be, heterosexual. So what the hell are you oppressed by?
Right.
What the hell are you oppressed by?
Listen, what I told you, I believe that they altered the children from birth with the immunization shots, with the cosmetics.
But here is the issue with that, Miss Barbara, is that queer LGBT people have been around as old as time. Like that's why you're reading about them in your Bibles. It's why you're reading about them in the Quran. Queer people are not new. It's not a new group of individuals. They're not a 21st century invention. They are a part of African culture, European culture.
Exactly.
I mean, they are widespread. They've been here for
all up and through and around Africa long before them white folks went over there.
Hold on now. You trying to say that what? Because talk to me about this.
And as far as that Bible was pushed on black
folks.
No,
I don't
promoted slavery.
I don't mess with that altered thing. I don't mess with that altered thing that hurts people's feelings. All them bitches going to hell in there.
But we're just making a point and bringing up the Bible that the The Bible
mentions
the
homosexual.
Quran, yeah, like these are
Both were
historical
man-made for
references.
No, those
That
are
these
awful pieces of crap. By the
that these are historical references that LGBT people are as old as time. They've been around forever. They're not like this is not a American issue. This is not a
They act like
Western
we been creating this
situation.
damn science.
We've been in the earth. We've been amongst society and culture, and so yeah, like we can't blame
It wasn't
queer
always
people.
demonized.
And it wasn't always demonized.
It
Like,
wasn't always
and this
demonized.
is where Monica was getting in at, is that before European invasion and colonialism in Africa, there was deep respect and even a spiritualization of same-sex unions and transgender people.
No, they don't teach us none of this. For real.
There's also a lot of people who were born with both genders.
I did my research.
One at a time,
It
y'all,
was a
because I'm trying to
cultural thing
listen.
in Africa. For pedophilia, that was cultural. All that was cultural in Africa long before the white folks went over there.
Monica, girl, speak louder. Can't hear you. Muffling yourself.
Oh, it's
yeah.
it
Don't
was
muffle. We can hear you clearly.
It's a cultural. It was a cultural thing in Africa for older people, adults to have sex with children. It was a cultural thing for them to get young girls and marry them at a young age and have sex with them. All that was cultural. As far as homosexuality, it was transgender women and all that. It was transgender people who had whole kingdoms. I looked this stuff up in Africa.
Whole kingdoms?
Yes, whole kingdoms.
If there was African women that had whole kingdom, because I'm a Google, I'm gonna do my studying.
Look, I can send you some stuff, Miss Barbara.
Yes, sir.
I can send you some stuff.
People want to walk around.
It was in Greece too.
All these
because let me tell you what my third eye is telling me.
Oh, the Romans were big on it.
My third eye.
Hell yeah. Them bathhouses.
Thank you.
This is what my third eye told me. That there's other entities in this universe and they on Earth and they altered us to appease them sexually. That's what I thought.
No.
That's what my third eye told me, that these entities, now look at our culture. Now something was down here along with humans. These entities altered us to appease them. That's what I get.
Are you saying that is the source of bi and trans and gay?
No,
and
yes.
No.
What I'm saying.
We are all unique in our own way. That's not the
story. Okay, no, he's
to
telling me
think that
something
it's completely ridiculous.
But he's telling me
it's some entity that made somebody like that.
Right.
No, this is who people are.
Me.
Are supposed to be who we're supposed to be. If you're supposed to be gay, you're going to be gay. If you're supposed to be trans, you're going to be trans. It has nothing to do with no entity or anything like that. That's your spirit. That's who you're supposed to be. Like I think when trans women die, we have whole female spirits. It was just put in the wrong body. Just like when the gay person die, or trans person die, their spirit is gay. Their spirit is straight. You know,
as I see it, as I seen it, son. These entities, because see, it wasn't as many. Was it as many back in those days as it is?
Miss Barbara, can I ask you? Hold on, Miss Barbara.
Y'all listening to folks like
Miss Barbara,
all these Hotep folks and Michi X's listening to ignorant fools like that. That's what's messing y'all up.
Yeah, they did. Brainwashed us.
Well, Miss Barbara, we do have a trans woman on the panel, and I do want to clarify. When you say son, you are using a New York slang, right? Like son, and not male son. Okay, I don't want to clarify.
I didn't see her hair back, sweetheart. Oh, I didn't see her hair back. I didn't see it. She got her hair in the ponytail.
Okay, I just want to clarify so that we have no problems. And I also want to say this too. Have you considered, Miss Barbara, that your privilege as a cis hetero woman and your that privilege affording you the ability to just create the narratives for same gender loving people is the same privilege that white people have when they considered us 1/3 human, when they considered us barbaric, when they considered us animalistic. That do you understand that you are speaking from a place of privilege?
Yes, man. You think? Oh, wow, this is deep. So you saying that God created the man? Okay, all right.
Well, I'm simply saying to you that it is important for you to be self-aware as a privileged cisgendered woman, that when you're sitting in the faces of LGBT persons, that you actually afford yourself to be educated about the issue rather than to be the author of LGBT people's truth, something that heterosexual people constantly do a lot of, which is
I don't know,
even though they don't get it.
Story, because I'm not sure.
You want to know what I want to know? I'm just really curious about something. Wasn't Eve created from Adam's rib? So technically,
that's what it says.
Adam and Eve never existed.
That's what it says, but I'm
that's what
a little
it says.
confused
So,
on that.
And they were like the epitome of like masculine and femininity. So maybe we both have those spirits in us. Maybe I'm just reaching, but that's kind of like when I'm thinking right now.
I feel like
maybe some of us have a little bit too much masculine energy, and some of us have a little bit too much feminine energy, and it shows.
Exactly.
That's why it says prior to him, prior to Adam and Eve, it was he created them, male and female. The energy, the spirit, the identities, if you will. You know, like he created the male and female, like the divine masculine, the divine feminine, and then it gets housed in these bodies, and people then like that's where the identification comes from. But the idea of male and female predates or is prerequisite to the whole actual beings being created, you know?
Yeah, but they were perfect. Do you think when Eve ate the apple, when they fell from grace, something got mixed up?
No, what I'm saying is before there was Adam and before there was Eve, before there were humans, the concept of male and female was already in the works. Like that was one of the first things. You know what I mean?
Adam and Eve didn't exist, man.
Well, let me ask Anaya, like, what do you mean by something got mixed up? Something like what got mixed up?
Maybe that's why you see most people with more masculine energy. Some women have more masculine energy. Some guys have more feminine energy. Like we both have those spirits, but maybe sometimes it overtakes us.
You are wrong.
It's something like that. I'm just wondering.
So what's interesting is that, I mean, I'm not going to act like some Dead Sea Scrolls found in a cave are the absolute sciences about how the world came about. No. I totally understand, because I have great reverence for a religious text and spiritual text and all of that. It is just mythology, but if we're going to use that mythology, perfectly fine. I think something that we don't consider is that before Adam ever even fell, that Adam housed femininity within himself. That's why God was able to extrapolate it out of him and then to self-actualize it before himself. Femininity didn't come from somewhere out there. It came from somewhere in him.
It came from him. He had both of it.
So
conscious.
Yes.
Would you go so far as to believe this theory? Because in my head, just these last couple of years, I've been giving real thought to the fact that Adam may not have been Adam. He had a whole, and I can't remember the term it's leaving me. You know, when you have both sexual organs.
Intersex person.
And then God separated him, so he wouldn't separated them, so they would not be alone. There was he and she at that point. But before that, they were one. In one.
You said what I was trying to say, but better.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was trying to say. I couldn't get it out, but that's what I meant. Like, okay, thank you.
I think that these mythologies have their own ways of like kind of hinting to how these things have came into the earth. What I do know is that, because somebody else said it, and it might have been a Lady T, that masculine and feminine are attributes of the overall creator.
Yes.
The overall creator, because
not really a him either.
And within that, And within that, the scriptures, if we're just going to, because like I said, I don't necessarily adhere to mythology, but just using it here for the context of this conversation, that those same scriptures say that I made both male and female in my image. So we know that both masculine and feminine come from the divine, that they're both divinities, that they both come from one singular source. And so, but what happens in the earth because of egos and cultures is that we start socially engineering men and women. So we start looking
and putting
at
one above the other.
So we put one above the other, and then we start attributing certain duties and roles
and traits
to men and women because of masculine and feminine binary. And I think that's where the issue really comes in at. Like, for instance, I look at white men. I think that white men are in a perfect are in a perfect situation within their culture because they don't have hyper masculine standards. This allows white men to develop as they will. So you have all these variations of European men. You have the jocks, you have the alternative white guys, you have the punk rock dudes, you got the gothic dudes, but you look at the black, but you look at the,
they're able to paint their nails, dye their hair.
Like
Now, Constant, you talked about all these European white people, right?
Yeah.
Right? You said all white people, right? Now,
and not just white people, but they're just the reference in this situation.
My theory is that these white things altered our black things to appease them. That's it. I think that these white things altered our black things to turn into transgenders.
No.
It did.
I just
You
believe
got that all wrong.
Hey, now y'all tell me different.
Ain't nobody turned into nothing.
Miss Barbara.
The reason why I say that, the reason why I say that because they have the medication to further finish turning.
Y'all listen to medication.
Sweetheart, Monica, sweetheart, listen to me, sweetheart. Let me just finish my. Okay, let me finish my statement. I'm saying they now have medication that turn people into women. They have that medication.
Yeah, but that's now, Miss Barbara.
Right,
We're talking about now.
for the longest, like transgender people from way before.
Me growing up, I never seen a transgender. I seen a drag queen, but not a transgender.
But you know why you never? But that's the issue of transphobia and homophobia and this being a deeply religious and bigoted country, is that we had people who were always here not being able to live in their truth because of the fear of being persecuted because they could not assimilate to the status quo. Their personal truth didn't allow them to assimilate. So you had gay men who were gay but wearing beards and marrying women. You had people who were gay but in the closet because they lived in a culture that witch hunted against their identities. The same thing for trans women and trans women. And this is what's so polarizing for a lot of like my parents a generation, my grandparents a generation, is that they are floored not at the manifestation. Like the manifestation of LGBT people is just really it's the coming out and reveal, like it's the space is being provided for LGBT people to show up as they are rather than living in the obscurities of society. Going back to Monica's point about Africa, that was my whole stint about before European colonialism and invasion. If you study African hieroglyphics, if you study African culture before white man poisoned Africa, you find all LGBT spectrum, everything, all up and through every part of Africa, from Egypt to Nigeria to the Congo to everywhere in Africa. We have historical and archaeological evidence that people across the masculine and feminine, transgender, homo, and lesbian spectrum existed. They ruled as kings. These things were integrated into their culture.
We study that.
There are whole books, Miss Barbara. There are whole websites dedicated to the unpacking of LGBT in Africa alone. Now, so with you saying now, once again, it comes from a place of fear. There's something you are afraid of, Miss Barbara, as it relates to queerness. I don't know what it is.
No. Let me tell you.
A lot of black folks are afraid.
No. Let me speak for myself. What I'm afraid of is seeing my children like Monica, beautiful Monica, commit suicide, feel unloved. People in the business.
Exactly. I take suicide
now,
real
let me say something, Monica. Please, young lady, wait. Listen, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to yell at you like that. Listen, because y'all keep making me forget because I keep wanting to bring it home to what we gotta do. Bringing it back to the children. We just gotta teach people it's not our business who people have sex with. That's the bottom line.
But it's not just about sex, Miss Monica. It's also about identity. It's about identity as well.
Let me tell you something. Whoever you tell me to address you as, whoever you tell me who to address you as, I teach my children. You understand? This is Monica. This is Miss Monica. You understand? That's what I would teach my son. That's Miss Monica. That's what I would teach my son. I teach my children respect.
Exactly. Do you realize that when it comes to transgender, I have a friend. She's a transgender. I'm getting mixed up because I'm getting ready to tell the story. She's a transgender female. And she is in a relationship with a transgender man. And they have a child together and everything.
Wow.
I've seen those couples. Yeah.
I've seen that one
So
too.
when it comes to the gender identity component, it don't have anything to do with
sexual orientation.
No, it don't. It only has something to do with gender. When people get it mixed up, transgenderism and gayness is two different things. Now, granted, it's all under the LGBT umbrella, but it's two different things.
Miss Monica, speak so I can hear you. I can't hear you, girl, when you talk in your voice.
They talking about for the game, Miss Monica.
It's two different things. Now, granted, it's all under the LGBT umbrella, but it's two different things by itself. Sexuality is strictly who you want to get in bed with or who you want to date. Gender is who you identify as and who you present to the world as. That's what transgender is. People seem to get it mixed up, thinking that transgender means gay and this and that and the other. And like, no, it don't mean none of that. It's two completely different things. It's trans women who like women, and it's trans men who like men. So I guess they'd be considered lesbian or gay.
Also, so Monica, you said you would like another woman.
I'm bi. I like both. I like men mostly, but I like both.
Okay, so
both, we both handed over here. We both handed, honey.
The majority of people, I think the majority of people are bi.
Aren't there some animals that are two sexes?
Lions, I think.
What other species on this earth is two sexes?
Foxes?
There are all sorts of animals in the animal kingdom that practice homosexuality.
Yeah, it's a lot.
But I was who turns to a butterfly. It goes from a worm to a butterfly. It gets in this cocoon and it transitions.
You know
transgenderism.
You know that there are frogs that actually will change their sex if there's not enough males in the group of frogs. One of them randomly change their sex to become a male or female to ensure the population keeps going.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
I want to show y'all something too, but y'all can keep talking. Well, I wanted to make this point too before I pull this up. Hold on. Speaking to Miss Barbara's point about not wanting LGBT people to come to suicide, I do understand that plight, and I hear a lot of parents say that their issue with having LGBT children is that they are afraid. But my
let me say something about that first, Con.
Okay,
I got to say something about that. Okay, first of all, when it comes to this suicide thing, how about these other people teach their kids how to be more tolerant? See, people won't be worried about committing suicide if these other people teach their dumb ass kids
if they weren't
more
bullied.
And teach your kids.
That's why I say we gotta teach our children respect. We have to teach our children respect. I don't like to see people feelings hurt. You
exactly.
understand? I don't like my daughter. Let me tell you something. My daughter probably was frightened out of her choice because of her cousins. You understand what I'm saying? My daughter probably won't even be able to allow to live in her truth because of her family. You understand what I'm saying? It's a hidden secret. It's a hidden secret. She will not be able to live in her truth. But then we have one that's straight up, I don't know, they got their select opinions. They let some do and some don't. I don't know.
Yes.
Well, there are all kinds of things that keep.
Have you ever, like, in like casual conversation, mentioned what you received as far as your third eye?
Well, I was
your daughter.
Well, okay, let me be very, 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 very honest with you. You understand? Because of the way it was done, her and Brittany, you know, they went to school together. The way they did it secretly, I was so hurt. I was hurt because they took it to another. Her, Brittany, and this other man did a threesome, and I just felt like they was just doing shit that they didn't have to do, like all of this sex stuff with all of these men and threesomes and all of this stuff. I just felt like they was confusing themselves, and I didn't like it. You know, well, like every stupid parent that don't, you know, we don't.
But do you see what you just said? Do you see what you just said? You didn't like it,
right?
Do you see what you said?
Mm-hmm.
We have to stop. We have to stop trying to judge everybody else by what we find acceptable to us. And I'm not talking about and stuff like that. That's acceptable for nobody. I didn't like them being with the boy. I didn't like them being with the man.
You're breaking up a bit.
Threesome. I didn't like the threesome situation. See, if they would have came up to me with lovers, I would have had to do. I didn't like them. I didn't like them allowing this man to turn them out with the threesome thing.
But see, you're assuming that the man turned them out. You're assuming that you know exactly what your daughter desires sexually, and that's her own personal business. It isn't anybody else's. That's the thing. We have to start learning that we don't have kind of control over what children desire. We desire from we do, but that doesn't mean what they want.
When it comes down to the transgender, when it comes down to
hold on, you guys. It's a lot of feedback, like a lot of background noise from somewhere. I think it's a dog, maybe.
Yes,
I'm not sure.
When it comes down to
the dog.
Everybody, let's get everybody.
Every time.
We need to keep.
Is that hold on? Is that beautiful black man in the background?
That's that beautiful black man in the background.
Okay. He needs to jump in here so we can equal out this gender equality in this conversation. I'm tired of being the only damn man on the panel.
Now listen, I'm gonna tell you something because sex has kept me.
Your phone is breaking up, Miss Oz.
Oh, I hate that. I'm gonna jump back in for y'all.
Yeah.
Okay. While she's doing that, real quick, I wanted to just, before we get too far off, talk about this issue of, because this speaks to Miss Barbara's point about LGBT whatever being manufactured. Like the reason why people say that the queerness, transgenderism, the spectrum of sexuality is natural is because scientifically we consider what we are able to find in nature to be what's considered natural. So transgenderism, homosexuality, lesbianism are not something that is exclusive to the human race. It's something that we also observe in nature. For example, these animals, as it relates to transgenderism, I'm going to read briefly this article here. In animals, some species exhibit sequential hermaphroditism. In these species, such as many species of coral reef fishes, sex change is a normal anatomical process. Clownfish, rarus, moray eels, gobies, and other fish species are known to change sex, including reproductive functions. A school of clownfish is always built into a hierarchy, with the female fish at the top. When she dies, the most dominant male changes sex and takes her place.
Wow.
What?
In the rarus, sex change is from female to male, with the largest female of the harem changing into a male and taking over the harem upon the disappearance of the previous dominant male. So this is how deep this shit gets. This is how deep the rabbit hole gets. So when we're talking about God and talking about the creator created these spectrums and these intersexes and sections. Like, these are not man-made creations and ideas. The white man did not create queerness. The white man did not create transgenderism. The white man did not create same-gender love and same-gender affection. These things are spiritual in nature. We don't know that because we are fallen, ignorant ass people. So we are having to unlearn the ways of this ignorant ass system and get that to true and real knowledge, okay, which is going to blow all of our wig caps back, because what's really real and what's really true is so almost extreme and beyond Western comprehension that we think it's more soothing just to remain mental midgets than to take the leap and really evolve our minds. But people have to really go down the rabbit hole. But because of colonialism, because of slavery, because of being westernized, because of being indoctrinated with Christianity, this shit has handicapped all of our brains, all of our intellectual processes. We refuse to be critical thinkers. We instead comfortably choose mythologies rather than the literal science and reality and observation made out in Mother Nature herself, which is a whole Bible. If you know about the Bible, the real Bible is nature, not this literature. The real word of God, the real
long time ago.
The real word.
Now I understand why they say which one comes first, the egg or the chicken. I'm reading this right now.
Because you know, my God, wait a minute, can I say what my God told me? My God told me man came from woman. That's what my God told me. Man came from woman.
But in reality,
that book was written
and I
by
just
a white
heard him
man
read that
a
to
long
me.
time ago, used to control mankind. That's what the Bible is. That's the true origin behind it.
Yeah, it's a doctrine.
Miss Barbara, we just went over the fact that, you know, we're all born female. That's
what I'm saying. That's what see, I'm not educated by the government. I'm only educated by the Holy Spirit. So for him to read that literature, that's what I'm like, wow, God told me that man came from woman.
But there was the instances in that
the Holy Spirit is God. That's a woman, and she gave us godly men like Jesus, Malcolm X, Louis Farrakhan to save us in this revelation. People that's killing us. You understand? But the Holy Spirit is God is
Black
a woman.
folks killing each other.
God is a woman. A creator. And the reason why I thought the white people was killing us, because everything that's godly on this earth is black. Godly, the woman, and black man. They've been killing us. That's why I thought these entities was killing us and altering us.
Because
that Bible promoted
you go back to that thing, because I was trying to see the thing about the chickens.
It was given to black folks.
Girl,
I couldn't see in my glasses. I couldn't read the part about the chickens. I wanted to see that about the chickens.
The part about the who? About the chickens?
The chickens.
Yeah, there's chickens after the fish.
It was something chicken. Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah.
I see. Okay, hold on. Let me share.
Yeah, let me put my screen again. Because I thought that was a glitch
so what comes first?
Y'all are so funny.
The chicken comes first because now we know it impregnates itself or something.
Okay, so let me read it here. Chicken
come out the egg, right?
No, yeah, right there.
It says chickens can sometimes undergo natural sex changes. Normally, female chickens have just one functional ovary on their left side, although two sex organs are present during the embryonic stages of all birds. Once a chicken's female hormones come into effect, it typically develops only the left ovary. The right gonad, which has yet to be defined as an ovary, testes, or both, typically remain dormant. Certain medical conditions can cause the chicken's left ovary to regress. In the absence of a functional left ovary, the dormant right sex organ may begin to grow. If the activated right gonad is in over testes or testes, it will begin secreting androgens. The hen does not completely change into a rooster. However, this transition is limited to making the bird some a bunch of goddamn words I ain't trying to pronounce. But chickens, what Okay, so it also goes into apparent sex change in humans. Several medical conditions can result in a apparent sex change in humans, where the appearance at birth is somewhat, mostly, or completely of one sex, but changes over the course of a lifetime to begin somewhat, mostly, or completely of the other sex. Overwhelming majority of natural sex changes are from a female appearance at birth to a male appearance after puberty, due to either 5-alpha reductase deficiency or 17 blah 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 blah. The term sex change is to refer to sex reassignment surgery, that is, of a set medical procedure undergone by transgender people to alter their sexual characteristics from male to female or from female to male. Is considered offensive and inaccurate by many in the transgender community. The term is also sometimes used for the medical procedures intersex people undergo are more often as subjected to. I actually want to click this intersex, because this is where we get into the hermaphroditism, etc. Intersex people are individuals born with any of several variations in sex characteristics, including chromosomes, gonads, sex hormones, and genitals that, according to the Office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, do not fit the typical definitions for male and female bodies. Though the range of atypical sex characteristics may be obvious from birth through the presence of physically ambiguous genitalia, in other instances, these atypical characteristics may go unnoticed, presenting as ambiguous internal reproductive organs or atypical chromosomes that may remain unknown to an individual all their life. So what's interesting about intersex people is that literally it's just what we're talking about in the coral fish showing up within mankind. This transgender.
My brother, I would consider my brother to have been an intersex person. Up until he hit puberty, he was all boy, and then as soon as he hit puberty, something in his body decided that he needed breast, and his lower regions stopped developing, and he developed full-on breasts. They said he had Klinefelters. He had an extra female chromosome that did not kick in until he hit puberty.
Wow.
So, here's the problem. Us as humans, we have this thing about when we don't understand something or it seems strange to us, we just take the habit of demonizing it or making it freakish instead of just understanding all of us are fearfully and wonderfully made, and we're all supposed to be different. We're not supposed to be the same. Wouldn't that be boring? That'd be so boring.
Well, I'm glad I'm learning this now because maybe, I needed, it's a damn shame to be 58 years old and not feel that people was not. So my daughter was naturally born that way?
Yes, she was.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you what I think.
Not born, but in the womb.
Yeah.
You don't think they was influenced to do that shit?
How can you be influenced to be influenced to be what, Miss Barbara?
To have oral sex with another girl.
No, that's just who she is.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Hold on.
Do that, and nobody, they didn't have any kind of point of reference before they was doing it. It's just who they were hanging out with at the time that their hormones started to kick in, and they experimented with the same sex. It happens all the time.
They used to have to go to dance every day with them girls. No one of them little white bitches always wanted my daughters to spend the night with them.
Lord have mercy.
Lord have mercy.
Jesus,
Miss Barbara.
But they was older. No, they was older. I'm so stupid. Like, I keep asking them, was y'all molested?
No,
Miss Barbara. We just gave you a whole.
And God bless all of y'all. This is the preacher.
Come on, preacher.
I think I got to interject real quick.
Please do.
We're gonna hold a prayer vigil for Miss Barbara. I've been listening this whole time, and quite comical. But let's be clear. I'm a grown man, 51 years old.
I'm 58, older than you.
And I'm not, but age is just a number. It's about what's in your brain. You feel me? Because I could be 60 and be a damn fool. But I'll digress. I'll say this. As a grown heterosexual man, if I saw trans or
Don't
trans
muffle, I
porn,
can't hear you.
if I saw transgender porn, Brazilian, Spanish, whatnot, that woman looks just like a woman till you see the bottom half. Now, to me, I'm a heterosexual man, but that's a turn on to see that type of situation. You feel what I'm saying? So
He like what he like.
so it's all about what I like. Now, I've been with my wife for 27 years. I've been laying it down on the side that's brown.
Father God.
But when you see certain things, like some women like to be dominated, some women like to dominate. It's all in a matter of how things are brought up to you. I've learned a lot in 51 years. I've been stupid a lot about homosexuality and lesbians. I grew up in the Church of God in Christ, where homosexuality was just the norm. It doesn't really matter. But as I
grew up in a church where the pastor was lying and having sex with all the little boys.
They had sex, they molested.
Yeah, see all of that.
Yeah, he molested the whole church. El McCurran was his name. El McCurran.
Yeah, see all of that. Let's be clear.
The whole church.
We all come from this debilitating thing in the church. I was born and raised in the Church of God in Christ. That's all I knew. I didn't know at 16 years old, singing in the Walter Hawkins seminar choir, that all the guys that told me, because I had no facial hair, my hair was fried and dyed and laid to the side, that they say, oh, I was pretty. I didn't understand at the time that they were hitting on me until my evangelist mother say, them men are hitting on you. So we have to understand. Some people are we just don't understand because we don't have that in us to judge.
No, we brainwashed.
Does not least ye be judged.
I was raised outside the church.
Yeah. No, what we need to, let's get back with the kids, where we're straightening these kids out in the young generation. What we need to teach these children is respect for another child, not sex, condoms, touching my, just respect. Respect Susie, respect Jimmy, because Jimmy like pink and Jimmy is feminine. Respect Jimmy. You know, don't give me personal questions. Don't ostracize them, like shunt them out. Don't play with them and all of that stuff.
But I'm gonna tell you one of the issues with respect, Miss Barbara, because see, respect isn't just, it can't be just a command, because what a lot of parents don't realize they do is they issue the command to their children to show respect, but they also are like, so let's say, for instance, we use this conversation here and you just ask questions about, well, were you molested? And I don't think this is natural. Well, if all of that is following your command for me to respect someone, I'm going to respect. Well, I don't know if I'm going to be capable of respecting them, because now I'm fearing and othering them, and it's going to be difficult to fear. It's going to be difficult to respect something that you're now sending me out into the world to have an othering attitude about. And so real respect has to come from a simple basis of, look, I think that the respect has to be, mind your motherfucking business. We don't need narratives attached to people's humanity. Just treat people.
Let me show you how it goes down. Let me show you how to be treated. Before I forget this point,
like it's so
let me
damn
just
hard
use
to do.
my children for an example. Like my daughter, the one that I explained what she was doing, right? Now, look how she treated my best friend, which him and his lover was put out, and he asked me to stay in my living room. And here she go, her and her sister. I don't want them H's. Now, you know, I told you her secrets, right? See, they teach, people, she's taught this hate. Because when she tried to come out, they came at her like this. So this is how she want to come at my people. Oh, I'm not letting these such and such and such and such. I don't want them around my little brother. Now, you know how I cherish my son. I said, you know what? I don't give a F what you bees say. Nobody's going to disrespect my friend. And they stay in the damn living room. And they staying in the damn living room. My son is going to have to see people like this. He makes the choice to be like this. I have to deal with it. I'll deal with it. But he's going to know to respect people, and they're not going to influence him. And that same king slayed these bastards down when they try to hurt my children. Okay? So I don't play them games. I don't play nobody. So I don't want this panel to think that I'm hopeful. I'll die for mine.
And you definitely not. Like, you have a love. Your
baby,
you love everybody, and that is very clear.
I might be an ignorant, dumb nigga that don't know, but I'm not a
God.
You ain't dumb. You know, I have a question. My teacher, when I was really little, she
tell me I'm not gonna hurt nobody's feelings.
Right.
I swear to God, I will hurt somebody trying to hurt.
We know, Miss Barbara.
We know.
You are full of love.
and Miss Thing right there. If you see me with I'm talking to you, Miss Monica. Know that some women be called men too, because you see some of my lies looking manly. You know, I didn't know your hair's pushed back, baby. So, you know, you didn't have your hair out, so I didn't see you. I didn't really see. I can't see that well. You got earrings and makeup. Like, he looking at me like, baby, you can't see these lashes. Now I can see. I was looking from a distance. But I would have never dressed you like that. As T.S. Madison, I don't play that. I don't play that.
And we understand. It's, you know, it's all I'm saying, Miss Barbara, is that it is definitely like it's a teetering, you know, personal belief and the respecting is a very thin line between the like, you know, the way that it's executed. Like, I think about, it's like, for instance, in my own family, like, I have a cousin, he is married, he had children, I have little cousins as a result, and I wasn't afforded to really like know my cousins like that, because my cousin and his wife are deeply religious, and somehow me being queer was something that could be passed. It was something that was contagious, or that could be passed upon my younger kids, and so I wasn't able to develop as close of a relationship to my cousin and my cousins as I had to all my other cousins, and so but hold on, Miss Barbara, hold on. But the gag is here, right? Those cousins raised my little cousins to show me respect. But what does that respect mean when ultimately you're demonizing me and villainizing me? And
she didn't raise you to show you the proper. She didn't raise you to show you no respect. She
no, but that's the thing. Like, I had the so-called respect. I was never disrespected in their presence. They were never rude or ugly nasty or unkind to me. And they weren't even nice, nasty. Things were like great in person, but there also was a separation of church and state, if I could say it like that. Like, whereas in they allowed me around when they could control the environment and the proximity, but I did not have proximity to those two cousins outside of their supervision.
They feel you would have influenced them. That's
right.
That's stupid.
Right.
People killing me.
So I have a question.
But I must take up for them now. I must take up for them. Because let me explain this. Like I said, like there's another king, Nawa. Okay, Nawa is a brainiac, very, very feminine. Very, very feminine. Right? Very feminine. And my son is mimicking behind Nawa. He does feminine things like Nawa, like his hair. He wears his hair like Nawa. He reacts like Nawa. He speaks like Nawa, because that's the only man around him right now. You know, so I'm seeing that, but I'm still, you know, I'm not saying, oh no, now, no. I don't know. I don't. All I know is I don't care what you do as long as you love, you know.
I think that we really have to like get down to the bottom line of why are we demonizing energies? Like, so what if a boy is feminine? Like, guess what? I have access to my femininity, and I will beat any motherfucker's ass. I pay my bills. I take care of my family. I'm protective of those who I love. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I pay my motherfucking taxes. I have the masculinity and balls to stand up and be who the fuck I am, and to die on that hill of authenticity. That's what makes me a motherfucking man. So when it comes down to what are we afraid of? What is the issue? So what if a girl is masculine? So what if a boy is feminine? So what if So what if a girl is both? So what if a guy is both feminine and masculine? Like, what actually is the problem? Because I'm gonna tell you what's behind a lot of that dumb patriarchal shit is when we ultimately say that it makes a man weak to be feminine, we're also endorsing the idea that it's weak for women to be feminine as well. What we're ultimately saying is that femininity is disposable. There's no real true substance and value in which femininity has. And it doesn't become that clear to us until it's on men. And we're like, wait, hold up. That shit has no place in this world, because in a male-dominated society, we save women, we rescue women, we have to complete women, we have to validate women, because women are something other, women are something weaker, and so we buy into this brand of toxic masculinity when we got our feet on LGBT people's neck. So I just want to just know to a homophobic society, what is, like, we're acting like a masculine woman isn't completely functional, or we're acting like a feminine man isn't still a functional human being. Like, he's still a capable human being, he's still a contributing human being. So what? I think man can kick your ass. So what if he's feminine?
All right.
So what?
All right, hey brother, can I say something to you?
Yes.
As far as I am considered, I'm a Pisces. My birthday is March 9th. All my life, I've been, as you would call, prissy, but I'm a man.
Right.
I get my nails and my feet done. I like to smell good. I wash. I'm the cleanest person. I take my look bigger than a woman, as my wife calls it.
A metrosexual.
Because I care. I care about, I cry. See, me and Dr. Larry Reed are one and the same. I'm just a little older. And we'll talk about that later, Mr. Conscious. But anyway, I'm able enough. I have learned that I can see a Conscious TV and say, Lord, have mercy. That is a beautiful man. But I'm a grown-ass man that loves women. You feel me?
Right.
People don't understand that. If I got big old rippling muscles, but I say this man on YouTube is a beautiful man, something is wrong with me. No, there's something wrong with you, because you can say, oh, this dog is a beautiful dog. This is a male dog.
And these niggas,
my wife is more manly when it comes to certain things than I am. And I can express my wife can be more of a man than me because I am a sensitive person. But if you get my time wrong, I'll show you just who I am. But my wife, for 27 years, I can honestly say, is the male dominant part in our relationship. And I ain't got no problem with that, because I sit pretty every day.
That's turning me on. This is a progression. That is this. Hold on. I waited my whole life to hear a couple like this come on my platform. I need a moment real quick. Because this is the type of balancing act that this is what God intended when it's simply a energetic thing. We have socialized men to overcompensate and to manufacture these brands of masculinity, just like we have done the same for women. And what Mr. Oz is saying is that he actually is showing up in his true self, not necessarily adhering to those man-made things, allowing his energy to be what it is. And he's found a partner, a female partner, who is authentic to her energy, her masculine, her feminine, and they both complement each other in that. There's not an issue of you're less of a man. You're hold on. Y'all, just let me run just real quick. Just let me flow, because this is very, very profound in my eyes. This is what I truly believe God wants, I ain't gonna even say just for heterosexuals, for queer people, like this. We have got to divorce this gender role bullshit and just be people and
Just
get in
start
where we
recognizing
fit
each
in,
other's
and get in
energy.
where we fit in at with one another. It got to
Exactly.
stop
I
being
just want to
about
ask you a
who's
question.
less of a
Okay,
man and who.
so I have a
Exactly.
question.
That's a bunch
Can
of
we talk
bullshit,
about
Con.
respect?
A bunch of bullshit.
Right.
This young lady's had this question for about
Yes.
15 minutes. Can she
Yes.
ask her question?
Please. Yes.
Now,
Go ahead.
since on the okay, thank you. Okay, so since this is, in our community, we always bring this up. Should respect be given or should it be earned?
Both. Let me be clear. I respect everyone. If I meet you, I come with a great greeting. How are you, sweetheart? How are you, young man? And sometimes it might not be reciprocated, but at the same time, the man that I am, I can understand that. I've been that way all my life. I've been called everything but a child of God. But here's the difference. I have to know who I am in the first place for it to affect me. And when you can understand your value in life, can't nobody else devalue you. You are beautiful in your own way. And the thing of it is I had to learn
Come on
as
now.
a young kid to
Apartments in
love
New
those that despitefully use you, because coming up the road, looking at 6 sisters, and I am one of 3 brothers. My mama had 9 kids. I am the only son out of 9 kids that have my head on straight
apartments
with nothing.
available, New York City.
With nothing. My older sisters call me to talk to me for words of encouragement, because God blessed me to understand that no matter what's
It is
going
the
through,
name of
I
my
had already
page.
been through the rough side of the mountain when I was a
I
kid.
just opened it
And I
last
yet
week.
forgave my father right before he passed for the stuff that happened to me as a kid. And the thing of it is I learned. I was tired.
I got a
I'm a
similar
straight
issue.
man,
My
Miss,
father treated me like
but
shit all my life.
I was touched and sexually abused. I was tied to a tree outside of my
Oh
house,
my
butt
God.
naked, and whooped by my father in front of all my friends. I've
Jeez.
overcome a lot, and God has blessed me to be able to talk, even though I don't know Miss Barbara. I can feel Miss Barbara, and she has a lot
Yes.
to say. That's why she interrupts. But sometimes you have to understand we got to give some people time to get it off their chest. And
Yeah,
that is the good thing about this program, that you allow these women and these men to get it all out. I don't care if it's 3 or 4 hours. God make a way
Don't
for
remind me.
something to come out positive in these conversations, because you don't know what happens when we get offline. I begin to preach with this phone down for an offering. I'm just telling you the way that it is. When I, as a 51-year-old man, has been through what a lot of times I hear people on YouTube. That's how we ran across Jives and Dr. Larry Reed, and we've watched all of y'all, and we ain't said nothing. But now that you put us on the forefront, brother, we coming. And we're from Columbia, South Carolina. I used to work at DJ's downtown in Columbia, South Carolina. God, we moved from Columbia,
Small
South
world.
Carolina in 98 to go to Florida for me to try to be a candidate because a brother needed a kidney. And I was a 100% match to my brother-in-law.
We didn't go for you. But I was.
Wow.
But
To what you were saying, to the left,
I was nervous because I wanted to ask him a question, because my son is feminine. I wanted to ask him, was he ever sexually assaulted or
yes, all of my life.
But
yes, ma'am.
My husband comes from a household full of women.
But I had a house full. I had 6 sisters, so I grew up. My sisters used to perm my hair, so I looked like one of the shy-lights when I was a little kid. So the thing of it is I can understand that it didn't go as far as me being curious. It was a situation that happened not only to me but to my sisters too, and they turned out in a different way. It's just the God that I serve, because I grew up in the church. while all of this was happening. I depending on God. So I am very, very particular. I stand out.
Oh my
I
God.
stand out because I can talk to the dejected because I was dejected.
Right.
Even in high school, I had football players and everything writing me love letters because of what comes out of me. I can walk around and I can talk and I can hug and you feel something, electricity through me because I'm an empath. And because I'm a Pisces, I could sit down and talk to you and tell you exactly what's going on in your life. But at the same time, I can tell you it's going to be all right. And the way that I didn't graduate high school because I preached all the time. I went to school to look good. Let's just be clear.
Amen. Amen.
I had a snakeskin briefcase with nothing but halls, grease, and cologne. I went to school because I was entertaining. I was entertaining. So, but I used that in a way that helped a whole lot of people. And I've never desired another man sexually like that.
So let me ask you this question then, Mr. Oz. So do you, because nobody ever asked the man who's grown up around a lot of women, with that being the case, like, do you have any, I mean, obviously you don't because you kind of are already said that, but you don't have any issues with any of the attributes and characteristics that you would deem as a man to be feminine. You don't have any issues with
no way.
With no way. Okay.
I love it. Like I said, I had a best friend in Florida, beautiful white man. Do you know me and this man kissed in the mouth? And it was nothing sexual. That was a greeting. See, you have to go back through the Bible, and the Bible says, greet your brother with a holy kiss. You have to understand that
everything ain't sexual.
If me and you, and we're going to meet, Mr. Conscious, Trust and Believe.
Okay.
Don't try to steal my man.
But I'm
I try not to.
You much prettier than I am.
It's lying talking about he go outside looking busted.
I am able to spend time with you as two brothers together.
Right.
We have to understand. I know who I am, but I know who you are too.
See, I'm used to men like you, Mr. Oz, because I have a inner circle of probably that's made up of 95% heterosexual men. Like, and my heterosexual friends literally treat me like one of the boys. Like when they come to spend the night, they come to chill. Like they sleeping in the bed. Like, and so I'm used to being around men who are actually comfortable with their orientation and know who they are. And so when I see these frigid men who are so no homo, and so overreactive to homosexual. Yeah, like them be the biggest homos, and I be like, no real man who knows who he is.
You ain't got to overcompensate.
No, wait, before I lose my point,
it makes no sense whatsoever.
When they doing
I had a best friend because I'm a licensed chef over 15 years. I can cook anything that moves. We worked at a place called Piccadilly's. You should know what Piccadilly's is.
Yes, I do.
I was the lead chef, and him and my wife worked. And this man had his beautiful boyfriends that he would come to work every day and tell me in detail. It was the funniest thing. It's how we are together. We do what we do. You like what you like. But I can honestly tell you that watching you, we love you, bro. And I'm man enough to tell you that I love you
y'all.
and I love your spirit. I see
your energy.
I see BS.
You are a great person.
But Mr. Oz, I gotta get on you. I gotta get on you, sir. You gotta give me a minute. Because you said you could address a man with a kiss, right? No. Yes. I think that you are, and I'm not judging or insulting you. I'm just trying to talk to you. We're having a conversation. So if I say something I'm there. I think you are bisexual.
There she goes.
Say what?
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
Wait. This is the reason why. I just want you to be honest with me, because you are an honest person. Now be honest, because I can't. Let me explain this to you, right? If my girlfriend come to me, I'm not kissing her in the face. I don't desire to kiss her in the face. Her mouth. I don't desire to kiss her in the mouth. I'm not gonna do that because to me that's a sexual thing. You understand? Now maybe you don't think that in the mouth is sexual, but I mean to say I don't desire her like that, nor do I look at her like this.
What about when you kiss your grandma in the mouth?
I look at her like this. As a beautiful woman, let me just be clear, because I need y'all to not have a disability. That's why sometimes I be trying to, because I'll forget what I gotta say. I'm just like that fish Dory. I'll break that down to y'all. But let me tell you this.
I understand.
Yeah, that's why I be like so anxious sometimes. I apologize for that, but I'm not insulting you by saying bisexual. I'm just trying to judge. That's my judgment. I see. Describing.
I will give you an honest answer. I'll give you an honest answer, and it's all grown folk on here, so I'll speak the way that I really feel it.
That's why I want an honest answer.
If I saw it's right naked, it wouldn't matter. He's in the shower, getting out of the shower, and I'm taking a pee. That's the way that it is. I understand. There's nothing in my life. Trust me when I tell you, there's nothing in my life at any time. My wife, let's be clear, my wife can stick a finger to the man's G-spot is, but in no way,
amen.
He's up his
That's
ass.
a real woman.
I heard they give
Would
it.
I
You
be
give it.
interested?
Like they give it like wow.
Give it to me. I'll let you ask me a question.
Okay.
Let me give you a quick answer. I'm a Pisces. I swear upstream.
I can't hear you.
I think your phone is breaking up, Mr. Oz. Or your phone breaking up. Or your connection breaking up a little bit.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you sound clear now.
Okay, let me repeat myself. I'm a Pisces. I swim upstream. When it comes to a man, not even a hot dog is going back yonder.
No, I'm not. You a giver, not a taker.
Don't.
Ollie's a giver. He
No,
don't take.
not a giver nor a taker. Not at all, sweetheart. No, not at all. I don't.
Hold on. Okay, as his wife, this is what I'm gonna say, because this is why I'll tell you that I can tell you he's being 100% honest with you. The type of relationship that we have with one another, I am a bisexual woman. I like women. My husband has afforded me, if I want to bring a woman to this bed, I can do so. If I want to go find me a woman to go kick it with, I can do so. He ain't got a problem with it. Now he might have had a problem with it in the past. That's why I didn't tell him in the beginning of our relationship that's how I was. But
I'm a licensed preacher.
we have come to a better understanding of one another. And so he is acceptable of that. I have told him and afforded him the exact same thing. Anything that you desire, if that's what you desire, you let me know and we can make it happen. So if my husband were to tell me all of a sudden that he wanted some delicious D in his life, then I'm gonna go find some for him because he's my husband and I love him. And I ain't got a problem with it. No, I don't have a problem with it.
I didn't think that your husband was a receiver. No,
but my point is just that he's comfortable enough to know that he can be his true self with me. That's my point.
Yeah. So I'm glad that he was honest with me, because I really believe that he can fall in love with a man.
I want somebody else me. I'm selfish.
Miss Barbara,
I think you was talking about bi-romantic.
Can I say this?
I think you mean bi-romantic.
I've always been a person to say exactly what I mean.
What it is.
Unfortunately,
I've been with a lot of women in my life. Trust and believe. If I wanted a man, my talk game.
His mouth game.
I can talk Mr. Constance into a relationship in less than 5 minutes.
You ain't even gotta talk me into one.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you. You helped me out. You just helped me out, bro, because I don't want to be feeling like, if I see these tendencies in my son, to be feeling like,
No, but sweetheart, everybody's situation is different. That's what I want you to understand. Because my name is Jerry, by the way. People call me preacher because I am a licensed preacher. I'm not preaching in a church, but I hold a minister's license. Here's the thing. In stuff happened in my life and things.
Oh, there you going out again.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Are you back now?
The things that I have seen and been through in my life has taught me life experiences. And it's a lot of things that I had to overcome, even getting to this stage of my life. So I'm comfortable with understanding I like long nails. And if I'm wearing a purple outfit, my wife is going to paint my nails purple. My toenails are going to be purple, because when I walk to the mall, I want everybody to look at me. But here's the difference. When somebody look at me like that, and I mean no disrespect, Mr. Constance, here's me.
I understand.
I want you to understand. And if you ask me, why am I wearing my nails like that? I'm a fashionista. I want to be in. I am a peacock, but I am a straight peacock. That's how it is. I can be flamboyant. I can walk through Walmart at 10:30 at night with it was a bright pink robe, and I had some pink slippers and a hat. Everybody in the Walmart called me Pink Panther Pimp. I like to dazzle people. I want to be the center of attraction in the room.
Prince, yes. You know what? Whoever got to say sounds like Prince. I was thinking about Prince, and that's why Constance reminds me of Prince.
No,
and
that's my favorite.
That's my father. That's my father in the spirit. That's my father's spirit.
Because honey, that's why when you was lying, talking about you go outside looking busted, I said that's like Prince going outside looking busted. I believe Constance, and if Constance is wearing pajamas, look at my son with the bonnet on his head. He looks nice with his big. He got a big bun on top of his head. Want to show?
But Miss Barbara, but that's what I was talking about, like how it's interesting.
I want to see how handsome my son is. Come on, baby Charlotte, get it. Come on, so let them see your beautiful hair. His hair is almost as long as yours, Constance.
And mine's is mostly weave, so that's
his is not a weave. This is not a weave. Charlotte, come let them see your beautiful hair. Forget him.
Stop putting him over. But this is about. But the point I wanted to make to Miss Barbara is this is what I'm saying. This is what now there ain't too many. Well, I ain't gonna go there. But what I will say is that
what happened, Constance? I want to hear.
This is the point that I was making about bringing up all these variations of white men and how white men get to just do what the fuck they want to do and still be attractive amongst their women without having their sexuality questioned. We're not affording that within the Black community for Black men to operate within the same sense of authenticity. And here it is. This is a perfect example of Mr. Oz, who is a totally
androgynous
cis hetero straight male who is colorful, fashionable, and who is connected and healthy and whole because he's in touch with his femininity and his masculinity. I think that this is literally what it means to be made whole. And I think all people, men and women, whether gay or straight, pansexual or bisexual, need to be in touch with their masculine and feminine energies. And so it's not a issue of sexuality. And that's one of the issues. And so this goes back to Monica's point about being trans, we have to
this conversation.
We have to separate sexual orientation from femininity and masculinity. Just because we see a effeminate male doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be a same gender loving male.
Exactly.
Just because we see a masculine,
for the Black community.
just because we see a masculine woman don't mean she's going to be a lesbian woman. One doesn't have anything to do with the other. They're separate things. We literally when we're talking about, I just want us to get into the attitude of when we're talking about masculinity and femininity, that we're literally talking about the energies of the creator, being personified through human beings and souls. This is so much deeper and far beyond sexuality and all of this dumb shit.
I
Like, it
actually
has
have to
nothing
go,
to do
you
with
guys.
that.
I just wanted to
We
say
have
bye
to
to
stop
Okay,
everybody.
Miss Naya.
And thank you
hold
so
on.
much. Bye, you guys.
I thank you so much, Naya. Bye.
Bye. We have to stop, also, conscious. We have to stop assigning all these attributes to femininity and masculinity because we can't. You can't decide what it is. Me and my husband work out because we balance each other out. I am, according to society, and I always have this argument with him because he always wants to call me a dude, and I'm always telling him, that's what y'all say a dude is. How do you know that? I'm just being me.
What a dude,
I'm not being. I don't feel like I'm being masculine. I'm just being me. I'm an aggressive ass female. What can I say?
Right.
See,
wow, that's
she scratches her female balls more than I do.
My white
do you understand what I'm saying?
Look,
I always feel like I'm the prettiest in the room. That's how I feel.
Act like it too.
When it comes to me, if I can understand how I look, it's what I believe. And if I believe I'm the prettiest one in the room, can't nobody tell me otherwise. But I can respect other people's opinions, because opinions, everybody got them. You just have to believe or people's assumptions. Because I am who I am, I can politely tell you, no, sir, no, ma'am, I'm not that. Even if you try to look deep into why I'm saying what I'm saying, I'm already there before you get your question out. Because I understand.
This is deep.
I come off as feminine. I like that. I'm an emotional person. What you think about me is going to affect me because of my makeup and how I am built.
I'm the opposite. I don't give a.
And my wife doesn't care what people think about her.
And shouldn't.
Let me tell you something. It's not what you what people call you, is what you answer to. And that's you and your wife, because you educated a woman. Because I want y'all to go to my page. You understand? Because I have a Holy Spirit mission. And God told me, God, conscious if I'm lying, that I love. You understand me? I would not tell you. God told me to talk to you about this conversation here. And I didn't know I'll get a chance tonight. Was what he educated, him and his wife educated to me. If I see a feminine man on the train or wherever, I am not to assume that he's
gay. Right.
You know, and that's deep. Because you know, he let me give it to him raw. And that's why I will give you my complete honesty too. You know, because now I'm not ignorant no more.
Yeah. Hey, you weren't ignorant in the first place. It's just some things that people don't know. And then when you find out, it adds to your life. And and you're in Brooklyn. You're in Brooklyn, correct?
No, I'm in Bronx, New York.
Bronx, New York. See, when I first heard you a couple of times, because we watch Conscience religiously, and I can hear that. And you love to say what you have to say, and I like that. And you're a funny lady, by the way.
No. Listen, it's this like I have a disability. You understand what I'm saying? So I got to get better with it, and the constant was helping me.
You're perfectly fine. You're perfectly fine.
I don't mean to be interrupting people and everything.
It's fine, Miss Brother. We understand. We understand.
No, we understand what's happening.
But people thought I was being homophobic. That almost broke my heart, because baby, all my life I could just got tears. They not with me right now. And my peoples, you know.
Barbara, don't get yourself upset.
No, when we went through the AIDS pandemic, and I love my pose. I want to be a house mother, and I'm a heterosexual, and I want to be a house mother.
You are a house mother. You are a loving woman, so that makes you.
I know y'all got to go to my page, because for 5 years I was.
We want to visit you.
Yeah, no, it's not about my page. Is a secret. My page is not for likes. My page is an Underground Railroad. Go to it. It's called Apartments Available in New York. I'm very serious. When y'all go to that page, see every video conference. I left you a link. Did you look at it?
Yes, I got your link, and I'm gonna post it in the description box so that everybody who want to check out this Barbara page, it'll be in the description box.
That's the true Holy Spirit. I don't make up them words, Constance. God gave me a revelation 5 years ago. and put me on Facebook that you know, and all of this. I'll talk another time when you open up
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
so I can explain myself. Okay, darling.
Okay.
All right.
Mr.
Thank you
Conscious
so
TV.
much. And thank you,
Yes.
darling Constance. I love you.
I love you
Mr.
too.
Conscious, let me I'll say this because I normally
Okay, boo.
I let my wife.
Oz, I was saying my goodbyes to Constance first, and I'll get to you. I'm sorry.
No, it just went low.
Talking about beautiful
I don't know if he
again.
can still hear you or not.
I love you. Your hair is gorgeous. That's what attracts.
Oh my goodness.
She's sorry. It probably went in and went out. He may or may not be able to.
You could get it to grow that
Here,
more.
I gotta fix it. One of my many children tried to call my phone.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. All right. All
Fix
right.
the mic.
So that's all I want to say. Thank you, Constance.
Okay. Well, thank you for the time. Thank you for the
I'll be
contribution.
back
It's
on
always
here.
all right, boo.
All right, sweet. I'm going out.
Oh, okay, baby.
Okay, I'm going to.
Yeah, this was a full circle. Miss Monica, you still there?
Yeah, bro.
How you feeling over there?
But then I gotta go take a bath.
Okay.
I enjoyed this conversation. I'm glad you let me back on.
Yes.
You know, I'm glad I can come on and give my input. You know, because I know it's people who don't understand, and I'm trying to be more patient. Yeah, I'm trying to try like the last shot.
You are doing better too with that.
Thank you. You know, I'm just trying to educate more and not lose my temp. You know? So,
but I understand because trans women are going through a lot of shit, and I understand the frustration. It's a lot. Yes.
You have to understand that. You know.
Well, bring your ass back onto my platform. Like, let's do it. When is your availability?
I'm available anytime you need me, baby.
Well, let's do a conversation and talk about the trans experience and what your experience has been and is like, and what some of those traumas are, so that people can get that story.
Yes, I would love that.
Okay. Well,
I'm gonna go.
All right, boo. I'm gonna hit you an email. I love you too.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, baby.
Email me.
I'm okay, I will.
All right.
Yeah, I think Oz, I think they're trying to get their connection together. This conversation was a very I might have to edit this shit up and slice and dice and chop and serve and flip, and because we had like 2-3 damn different shows in one damn show. This was amazing. I hope that Miss Oz can get their connection together, because I would love for Mr. Oz to come back up here and finish, because I find their relationship to be like truly extraordinary. Like my personal fantasy when it comes to romantic relationships is like, just regardless of whether it's a hetero relationship, whether it's a queer relationship, is a relationship where two people have totally accepted each other. That shit is so beautiful when you find somebody who encourages you to let your hair down, who find you fucking sexy when you're letting your fucking hair down, who want you in no other energy and no other way than your hair being down. And by hair being down, I mean just standing in your true self. And when you bottle that up under the context of romance and passion and attraction, I mean, that is literally, those are like the heaven on earth relationships. Like, just being with somebody who loves you for you and you love them for them, and y'all can just be fly and let it all out and just be true to their own selves, honey. It is truly a remarkable, priceless, gorgeous, rare thing in life. And if you come upon it, fight for that shit, hold on to that shit, enjoy that shit. Don't give a fuck what the society says. Don't give a fuck what your mammy say. Don't give a fuck what your family say. Them motherfuckers is miserable and ain't got nobody who love them for real in their goddamn life anyway. So you fuck around and you find you somebody, honey, baby, who with all your shits and all your giggles, and you with all they shits and all they giggles, baby, you have hit the motherfucking lottery, romantically speaking. And I find men like Mr. Oz so incredible, because that freedom is what all Black men deserve to be able to feel, instead of being clogged up into this gangster ass ratchet brand of toxic masculinity, and only believing that they can show up in baggy fucking clothes and low haircuts and overly personifying themselves, that they can't be as creative. You can be. That they can't have creative agency over their bodies, over their aesthetics, over their mannerisms. I just want folk to be fucking free. Men to be free, women to be free, particularly black women and black men, because God knows this system has done everything to put shackles on our brains and shackles on our hearts and shackles on our perceptions. And it's going to take quite a bit of work for us to undo those shackles. But the work starts with self, and it got to begin somewhere. And I think it begins right fucking now. Like, nothing is just more worth it than your personal fucking happiness. And whatever you got to give up to get there, I don't give a fuck who it is, family, friends, whomever, whatever your adjustments got to be to get to your motherfucking personal salvation. Fight for your fucking salvation at all fucking costs. Nothing is worth more than your personal happiness. So I just want to give a major shout out to Miss Oz and Mr. Oz. I love you guys so much. You guys are a fucking inspiration. Like, literally, I need to do just a whole show with you guys alone, just getting into the ins and the outs of just y'all two as individuals. You guys are fucking remarkable. And I want to shout out to Lady T, to Miss Monica, to Miss Barbara, honey. She always comes on and set it off, to Vanessa Tootie Bundles, who I get all my kinky straight weed from. Tanaya, you guys were fucking amazing. In terms of sexual education, baby, teach your damn kids. Don't let no damn government and no damn institution be in charge of indoctrinating your damn babies, honey. It's some weird shit going on. I think I understand, great idea, wrongfully executed. This should have been something extended to the parents, where they could make the choice to then, pass that on to their children, rather than this particular school going over the parents' heads and going directly for the kill. That wasn't cool at fucking all. But yeah, leave your comments below, and thank you guys so much. Subscribe, share. I told you guys we are a multifaceted program over here, honey. We ain't no one trick pony. Yeah, we can beef, we can slay, we can drag these hoes, we can expose these hoes, and we can come over here and do something entirely motherfucking different. Get our life, get educated, get enlightened, have some real deal Holyfield in the streets ass dialogue. Like, you just never know, okay, what's gonna come up out of the platform, okay? So definitely, okay, keep bringing folk over, and make sure that you guys subscribe to Apartments Available New York City. This is Miss Barbara's page, okay? Go over there for all your Holy Spirit needs, okay? I'm going to check out Miss Barbara's page, honey, and get my life tonight. So you guys go over there, give her a click in the view, give her a subscription, and get into them teens over there on Apartments Available New York City, okay? I really love you guys, and hold on, let me make sure this don't pertain to the live. I got a message here. Okay, cool. So I'm out, and I will be back with you guys this week as always, okay? Peace.